Hello?
Hello, and welcome to Left Past 10. This is our freeform, unscripted weekly panel show. So please don't expect us to draw any conclusions. How's everyone doing?
Hi, you look
Pretty good.
wonderful tonight.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, Matt. I gotta say,
love the glasses.
yeah, you look a hell of a lot better. I don't know what you did, but you know, just more youthful, more energetic,
Yes.
just more generally charismatic. Good on you.
Yeah, and the hair. Did you color it?
Definitely.
Definitely.
This is the Left Past 10 show. I noticed that there's an America First banner in the background letter hack. What's going on there?
Oh no,
So
it
what-
says 50 as fuck. It's for his birthday.
Ah.
50
I
is
figured 50
fuck.
kind of warranted a sash.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
So that's not
welcome.
America First, a neo-Nazi organization?
no.
Okay.
No.
God, please.
I have no idea what that is. So no.
that he keeps in a totally separate room, I assure you.
So what's happened to Ms. Letter Hack?
Whole lot of nothing.
A whole
I've
lot
never
of
done anything like this. This is very like I'm
Well,
very
you're doing-
nervous and
Well,
this
you're
is
doing great.
Oh,
great.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
it's just
Well,
a
then
Zoom call with friends.
let's interview her.
And I already feel like I know you guys because you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
weird.
I know you because you're a planting, gardening, but you're a
Yes.
permaculture. You
Yes.
are a permaculture person, which is way above where I am. So that's pretty cool.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right. My
I'm trying.
property is
I'm learning.
permaculture, but that's because it's all weeds.
Right.
You're learning,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
real deal
I got you.
about how to eat, walk around and eat everything. You could survive. You'll learn how to survive on what's out there.
Yeah, it's tough in South Carolina.
Is
Just because everybody sprays shit on everything, but yeah.
Is,
it's,
is
uh,
there
is it because-
pesticide in the air?
It's not. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so
Mosquitoes?
like different from what I'm used to.
Sure.
It's a learning curve for sure.
So it's like mosquito spraying at certain times of the year, like they do in Florida.
It's like I have a weed in my driveway. I'm going to go get a bottle of glyphosate and
Oh,
pour on
gee.
it.
So these
You know
people
what I
have
mean?
no clue. They need some education down there.
Well, but they don't want it. So, and they don't appreciate it at all. Well, I've learned that kind of the hard way.
Ooh.
You know, I'm not trying to be
Tough.
like know-it-all or whatever, but I'm like, why not try some vinegar or try something that's not going to like kill
There you
every
go.
living organism? And they don't really want to hear it. Very prideful,
Really?
very like, you know, I
So
do
as
what I
long
do.
as, Home
How
Depot
expensive
and
is that? That seems
Lowe's.
expensive.
What'd you say?
It seems expensive to get
Yeah.
like poison instead of just like something else.
I think they probably get it
Yeah,
at wholesale. And Monsanto is in our town. So they might have sales, you know, like it's expired or whatever, and people go fill up their own barrels.
It's called Monsanto still.
Expired
It's a
poison? That's wonderful.
subsidiary?
Yes.
Wow. No shit.
It's like
No
it's
shit.
literally like 2 decades behind
Mhm.
where it should be. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
what I'm used to, like from Colorado.
Mm.
It's a
So,
lot different.
Are there any insects there?
Oh. I had no idea that this many insects actually survived on the planet other than like, you know, super tropical places. Like you're just digging, like I'm going to plant something and like spiders are coming out of the ground or, I mean, it's nuts.
The ants. Matt told us about the ants.
The fire ants, the the cow killers. There are these red velvet ants that crawl around, and apparently, like, if they sting you, you have to go to the hospital. I mean, it's not, you don't walk barefoot.
Oh,
So,
ow.
yeah.
Yikes.
Wow. So with
It's
all
Do you
that
get them in the
glyphosate-
kitchen? Is that possible?
We haven't had one in the kitchen because you have to have somebody come to do insecticide in your house, or you'll be infested with cockroaches.
Even if
Good
you, so
Lord.
you live in a neighborhood, sort of rural,
Yeah.
okay, but there's cockroaches, or they
Everywhere.
They're
everywhere.
not like Florida, like palmetto bugs. They're actual cockroaches.
They're cockroaches and palmetto bugs. I mean, palmetto
Where
bugs
the
are the ones that fly, right?
What's the
I
fuck? Those are the more
think-
dangerous ones.
The palmettos.
Those,
are
you
big.
ever have one of those fuckers flying at your face?
They're
Yes.
big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where did they come from? Were they indigenous to there, or were they brought
They
in?
must be. They must be.
Wow.
It
Well,
must
you
be
know, I
just like the inundation of water and, like the perfect habitat for them because they're survivors. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what do you like to grow? What's your favorite things to grow?
Everything. Like I like to do vegetables. They're, people don't really seem to gravitate towards eating vegetables here. So I would love
my
to, I would love to, as a
Never read
vegetarian, I would love to somehow help this community figure out that growing their own food in a very simplistic way would be beneficial to them.
I like.
I don't know if
Well,
that's
they-
possible.
That might take a
Um,
while.
Well,
That it might take a while, but
could you do
I gotta
it
tell you.
to adult? Oh, go ahead, Jake.
As a
Sandy. Go ahead, Sandy.
fellow. No, thank you very much. I didn't hear you at first, but then now I heard. As a fellow vegetarian, I have to report to you a disturbing cultural trend. You know how all sandwich bags became Ziploc?
yeah,
In
all
my
vegetarians became Karens.
area, all vegetarian meat is starting to be called impossible meat, even though it's not.
Right?
And impossible meat
Impossible meat.
is delicious and a wonderful fake,
But highly processed
science
and
thing.
still not
yeah.
great for you. Yeah.
And you have
Terrible for you, but delicious. And when
Delicious.
somebody says, they warn me that the thing I've just ordered, when I say a vegetarian burger is made with impossible meat, and they ask if that's okay, I was like, yes. Are you kidding me? Yes, that's exactly how I want to harm my body. Perfect, thank you.
Right.
And
You're honest.
it's not. It's not. So be warned. Some people
Wow.
are just saying impossible meat as though that means fake, and I hate everything.
Well, we have a Cracker Barrel in our town, and the people that live here actually boycotted going to the Cracker Barrel when they introduced Impossible
No.
Sausage.
What
So
that's not real.
asshole.
That's not real.
it's
real.
I mean, it is.
Andrea.
Sometimes I'm walking around in a dream state. I'm just like, what is this real?
live
Like,
around the
have I done
worst
too many drugs
people.
and this is just like not really happening?
If that's happening, you've done a lot more
scary.
drugs
Right?
than you should have.
Right?
Not
Just
good.
coming out of my spinal column.
Oh,
Our country is a lot scarier than we think.
And
Oh,
in a weird way,
Oh,
like
wow.
I appreciate this experience because of that. I think I lived in a
Yeah.
bubble for so long where everybody was like, we're starting our own biodiverse farm, or we have this organic plot. Do you want some Swiss chard? That was just like a commonality. And here it's
decent
so
people.
different. It's so
Yeah.
different. There are very nice people. There are awesome people that I've met here, but then there's also people that, I've only ever read about. I'll say.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
do they
you
wear
know, you
like
would think-
Velcro shoes? You ever notice that?
Yes. Like there's a lot of like pajama and, like 25-year-old slipper wearing out. I've noticed.
Interesting.
I just want
Which
to
I
be
was like-
clear. My beef with the folks you're telling me you're around is not like that they eat meat. To each their own, whatever. It's the idea that they're like somebody else having an experience that I don't want to have. It must be stopped.
Yes.
So insane.
The
Wow.
fear is there is a lot of fear. And that's, I think, I try to have compassion for that because it just does come from living in a very small town. Like, what you know what your life experience is. You've never lived anywhere else. You can't necessarily afford to have, vacations and all that kind of stuff. So I can't fault them. What I do fault them for is not being more open to different ideas. Like, you don't have to agree with it, but at least listen to it and consider it. That's my only qualm.
What size is the county you live in? How big is that county?
I want to say there's 10,000 people
In the whole county?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I live in a small county and very small town. But I think because even though it's really red and it's Western New York and very Amish, very country, everybody grows a lot of organic stuff. And we have the farmers market with all kinds of stuff. So I can't imagine. Do you guys have farmers markets?
Well, we do, but then I found out that they're actually, which makes me so sad again, because our growing season is so long here. It's so lovely. It's just like, it's my dream. That a lot of them are like buying it off of Cisco trucks and stuff and trying to resell it in the farmers market. So it's not.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my.
It's not even that it was like they grew it.
Right.
I'm like, really?
Holy shit.
You're trying to flip that shit.
Wow. So
I actually do like that.
could probably start like a YouTube channel eventually with all of this knowledge and maybe, I don't know, get it on the local. Will there be public TV?
No, there's only Fox News.
Oh, okay. There's not even a public.
I don't even think that there's
radio.
I think there's
Fox.
only, if you go into any, there's only a couple of restaurants and a couple of bars. There's just Fox News on all of the TVs.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I think people are people. If you take all of that away, you take the
Absolutely.
politics. I mean, that's how it is here. Take the politics away, take it all away. People are still concerned about the same things. But
Absolutely.
I don't agree with that.
but Andrea.
If someone's motherfucking protesting Cracker Barrel because of Impossible Sausage, I'm sorry, they're too far gone.
Yeah. You do have a point. That's pretty damn good. Oh my god.
Why are there two letter hacks? What's happening?
Hello, it's so what a are you coming back, Matt? We're having more fun.
Ah,
Okay. It was nice seeing you guys.
Can you please say they're kicking me out the door?
They're kicking me out the door.
Just keep saying
She's gonna come with me and we'll do one of my gardening segments and we'll do something when it's getting towards that time here. We'll do a show on
For
what
sure.
you're doing. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
You'd be a natural. Everybody will love you. Right, guys, on my chat? Yeah. This is great.
you can't hear them, but they're saying yes.
They are.
Okay.
They're all saying yes.
I believe you.
Mwah. Love
Nice
it.
meeting. Bye.
It was perfect. I loved it. I don't want her to leave. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks.
Wow, Matt.
My word,
She-
Mrs. the Letter Hack.
She's a
son of gun.
natural.
I know.
I'm having her on. We're gonna get her career started talking about permaculture and all that stuff. That was really fun. Thanks.
So, like I said, no cold opens, no pranks, and no guests.
Yeah.
That was perfect. Yeah. Oh,
Psych.
Psych.
Well
We
done.
What
loved
was
it.
the prank?
She's cool though, right? Good one.
Absolutely lovely. I just lovely. It was. I'm very happy right
Now,
Yeah.
now you guys know why every time somebody says, "Oh, if you like Matt," it only gets better when you meet his wife.
That's
Like,
true. I don't know.
It's
if we
like
can go
one of
back
the
at this point.
It's one of the best parts of me.
It's a
She's so
cognito
cute.
hazard.
I like her long the braid on the side that goes down.
Yeah.
So what's going on
I
with
used to do that.
the America First banner? You're just joining the cult early. You're trying to get a head start.
50 AF. It's my sash.
You're just
My
wearing
50th.
an America
sash.
First sash. You just got to drape yourself.
Taking
Yeah.
another-
Oh, is that what
pretty much.
AF stands for? My bad.
Tracy said you have matching smiles. Aw,
Oh.
that's so cute. That's
The
so
So
better
does
hat.
she
The
normally
better
wear a
hat.
tracksuit
Ooh,
around the
that's
house,
good.
or was that like a?
Because I'm like, hey, there's a deal at Adidas. Do you want anything?
funny.
Okay.
Well, it was a pleasure. And
But
I
it's not
learned-
like we.
deal at the Eastern European gangster
Oh,
outfit
yes.
store. Do you guys?
Oh,
you
God.
want me to pick you up?
Yeah, we stand around like this a lot.
Yeah.
well, I learned a lot in a very short time.
She's smart.
Yeah,
She's in school for that stuff.
I know. That's
Oh,
why
Lordy.
really, it's thrilling. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's a weird place to be in
Oh,
learning about it. 'Cause
here,
it doesn't, it's
there.
not really applied here. Like they teach you like, here's how to put down astroturf. You know what I mean? And like, here's all the pesticides
Yes,
you need
yes.
to use. And it's
It's
like, wait a second.
HGTV land.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
you know, I keep saying, teach the class.
Yeah, she could be a
Like
mover and a
be the
shaker.
professor, change the dynamic. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been saying for a while, you should just sit down instead of me one night and surprise everyone. And
It was great.
I was like, you'll see,
No,
it's
it was
real
perfectly
easy.
executed.
Yeah.
Well, I think she will fit with my channel perfectly with gardening and
Sandy's trying to
yeah.
poach.
No,
See?
I'm also
She
trying
is.
to change. I need to do better.
Sandy
I
is
need to
also
do
very upset
some-
about Sandy's poaching.
My poaching. Sandy, you're upset?
Well, I mean, you're just clearly poaching talent here, but that's all right. You know what? It's a savage game.
It's
No,
first
it's-
come, first
Sorry,
served.
but it's a girl thing, you know.
It's Sandy
Yeah.
versus Sandy.
It's going to be this background. I hope that's okay, Sandy. It's not really going to be that different.
Spring and get a green screen so she can have waterfalls like I do.
Could do that. Could do that.
Yeah.
So what is going on? How are you guys? How's everything going? Doing good?
No.
Oh, great.
Let's talk to Sandy. What's going on, San?
Anybody want to unload?
No.
We're here.
No.
We're here for you.
But he's right there in the
I'm
arm.
gonna reload any minute here.
I got jury duty.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
I wonder
Just a
what
It's
quick
okay.
question, just
what
for the
kind of
cameras.
cake
Do you know
there?
about jury nullification?
Yes. Jury
What-
nullification.
Tell me what
I
is that?
think so, but now I'm
Nope.
questioning myself.
I won't tell you.
Isn't when they get rid of the
Okay.
whole jury and they say everybody sucks?
Nope.
Wait.
Just for the
is
record,
that-
Letterhack does not know what jury nullification is.
I
for
want to
future
see if I
purposes.
know, because now I'm not confident that I do. Is that when you get a piece of information, like the jury finds out
Nope.
a piece of information that they're
I'm looking it up.
Oh, that's when they reach a not guilty verdict?
Oh.
What is it?
Oh.
Sandy, what is it?
Jury nullification is when a
No.
jury acquits a defendant by refusing to apply the law or following their own sense of justice. So
May
it's
happen.
like vigilante
No,
jury.
now we are all no longer able to be on juries. You've
So
permanently
here's-
disqualified yourself. It's a cognito hazard. You're permanently banned from being on a jury now.
Here's the thing. I like being in those situations because it's a group of people who are just thrown together trying to figure out who the leader is. And that's when I raise my hand and go, I am in charge. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. Look, so this happened to me only one other time. I was on a jury and it was double robbery. This one dude robbed a Starbucks, rode it in a grocery store, rode his bike like a mile, robbed another one. They caught him because they were chasing him from the first one. They were like, there's another robbery. So they caught up to him. He's on bike.
You
It was
robbed two places
classic.
back to back.
Yeah. And it was like a holiday. But we had they had photos
What the
and
fuck
surveillance
plan
and
is that?
witnesses. It was like a week-long thing. This whole deal. And they voted me jury foreman day one
Ooh.
because we had a question for the judge and no one could figure out how to word it. And I said, word it like this. And
that was
my
it.
little, I guess they thought it was impressive how I said, so is it the former or the latter? You know what I mean? I did like one of those things in the question. And they were like, ooh, yeah, no, that's the perfect way to word it. And then they came back with the answer and they said, oh, and you have to pick a foreman today before you leave. And they were like, well, it should be Matt. And like everyone just said it except for one guy who said it should be me.
Oh fuck!
And they were
That's
like,
funny.
everyone was like, no. And I said, well, okay. I mean, I'm not volunteering. I'll do it. But why do you want to be foreman? And
Yeah.
he started like listing off his resume. And everyone was like, nah, it'll be Matt. And they're like, let's
Yeah.
vote.
I
And
have a
then,
resume now.
so I
give
had to
it
read the verdict and everything. I had to like
What
get
was
up
the verdict?
and guilty.
Andrea,
He was
did you
trying to get moved.
Did he hurt
to-
anybody?
It was he had a gun
Did he hurt anybody?
Ooh.
No, but I mean that puts people.
Nah.
I mean, think about
Let
the
him go.
mental anguish of being
And-
at gunpoint.
And let him
Yeah,
go.
you
No one
can't be
was hurt.
pointing guns at folks.
But this is what he had already been
He
convicted
tried
for
to
that.
rob 2 places and traveled on a bike in between.
He-
This guy
he
is
had-
poor. He is
he had
dirt
already
poor. He
been
can't even afford a
convicted.
getaway car.
We weren't there to convict
Wait a
him of
minute.
that. We
He's
were
got
there.
a getaway bike.
He was
Wait,
trying.
where was he trying to be moved to?
He was saying he was insane. And this is like a year later,
That's
and he
probably
was trying to
true.
get moved to like a cushy place. And, we determined that hell no, right? Like this guy, like I was thinking personally, I was like, dude, yeah, I mean, be a criminal, be a fucking criminal, man. What are you trying to back out of it now for? Like, live the life, own it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I've done crime, do crime. So anyway, then after the whole thing, a fucking week, dude, and they paid us all this stuff, and I got paid. My job at the time would pay me also. They're like, if you get jury duty, we'll keep paying you. And I was like, sweet, I'm making like overtime at a salary job. This is sick. Then the judge came in when it was all done. They're like, go back to the jury room. We'll be in a moment. She comes in, thanks us, and said, by the way, this wasn't actually real. And we were like, what? And she goes, we already determined. This should be a lie detector episode. She said, we already
Really? Say that.
determined that the guy wasn't going to be relocated,
Oh.
but we don't have, I forget what the categorization of trial it was, but they said we recently did away with juries for this kind of thing, and we're bringing them back, and we needed to do a trial run. And so you guys are the trial run. It went great. Thank you. But we already figured this out.
That's
And I was
funny.
like, does he know that? And they were like, yes. And I said, so,
And you guys were like, the joke's on you.
but the criminal is sitting there watching the jury go through this. He could have at any time been like, this is all bullshit, right?
Right,
Like, what's
yeah,
he have to
yeah.
fucking lose? He's
Oh
going back
my
to
God.
jail.
That's
Well, I'm sure they
funny.
didn't tell him what they had arrived at, and I'm sure they said
Wow.
you have
Yeah.
to cooperate. Like,
My
'cause if it would
understanding
have
is that
been-
he
yeah.
knew everything.
I never sat
Yeah.
on a jury. I went once.
It was
And it was
fun, man.
well, this was a rape guy, a rape trial, and I looked at the guy, and I was sitting there, and I said to the judge, I excused myself. I said, I can't do this because he looks guilty.
You're
I
like,
would-
that's a rapist if I've ever saw one. And they're like, you have to leave.
I had to leave. Yep.
He's
And
got a
you're
real
like, and
rape
I got my eye on you, Your Honor.
I would not have been fair. I wouldn't have been fair.
You
I
start
knew it
saying,
right
you're a
away.
rapist, and I think you're probably a rapist.
I think this
God.
guy's a rapist.
You know what?
think-
If you went to a
well,
frat,
half-
hold up your hand. All of you, rapists.
Half of the
Actually,
new
yeah.
administration is more than half.
That would be funny. If you're already out the door, you could be like, you know what? And I don't even believe in this system. So you can all kiss my ass. I'd say all kinds of crazy shit.
Mm.
People already think I'm a radical leftist. I've got
Radical
nothing to
leftist.
lose.
My buddy and I wrote a 12 Angry Men parody that was just all right, I'll let you in on our go-to joke, and it never doesn't make us
You're
laugh.
going to have to tell Andrea what 12 Angry Men is.
You don't have to tell me.
Oh, you've seen that?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Take any movie,
Ooh.
literally any movie, and replace the lead character, or really any character, with Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh. James Bond.
Yeah. And, 12
What
Angry
is
Men.
M? What is M anyway? Like,
See,
use your name.
why do we have secrets in the office? I get why on paperwork, sure, but it's confusing. There's more than 26 people here. You understand that? So I come across another Mark. That's M2.
Right.
Am I? This is a nickname system that we're. It's.
So
but
why
no,
I
yeah,
want
it
to.
just never
That's
fails.
my goal here, though, because as soon as I saw magistrate court, I was like, "Oh, I got jury duty," and whether I get selected or not, it's January 6th, by the way, which is whoa.
So you were
weird.
already. You had plans already. You're
Yeah, I'm
canceling
like, I'm
those.
busy. I'm
You
gonna
got
have to
your
write him a
alibi?
letter. But Yeah, God, now I'm thinking how pathetic it would be if people showed up to like raid Congress for Biden.
Hey,
Nobody would get hurt on
No.
that day.
They'd be right.
But
jeez.
my goal is to become a courtroom sketch artist. I don't know if they have them.
That
Why
is
not?
awesome.
They do
I'm
still
really
have-
affordable.
Well, in
But
your
like here,
state-
I don't know.
Yeah, in your state they probably do.
But
I
at
bet they
magistrate
do.
court in
I don't know.
Greenwood, probably
don't
not. But
know. You'd
it's
have
like,
to
let me do
drive
it for
to the
free.
drive
I'll
to
get
the-
my bearings and then I'll move on to, Greenville, an hour away where they have real court.
Yeah.
So I like this
That's
possible
interesting.
future.
Never thought about
where
anything like that.
To get drawn by Matt, you have to either start a semi-successful leftist podcast or commit a very serious crime.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you've
Two
seen
routes
those
you can go.
drawings.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen the
Yeah.
drawings they do.
Yeah.
They don't often look like the person.
no,
they
they're
don't.
like
And I'm thinking like all those people are in there like they're not using iPads. And I was like, oh, I bet they can't. I bet you're not allowed
Yeah.
to bring a
Like,
computer
no,
in there,
just-
right?
Andrea's
Oh,
got
yeah.
it.
Well,
She's
There's
doing it.
no digital drawing pads. They're all using like chalk and colored pencils and shit.
like they used to.
I honestly wonder about that because, like, if you're a lawyer, you can bring in a cell phone and what have you. If you're court staff,
Can
that's
they?
gotta.
So if I'm in there with my
I don't
fucking
know
iPad,
anymore.
those are going to be great. Well, I mean, you've seen
That
what
would
I
be
can do
great.
in 6 minutes, 10 minutes,
Hell
right?
yeah. While doing the interview. Yeah.
Yeah. Andrea, you ever sat on jury duty or even went?
I
Have you
got
ever been called?
rejected.
Yeah. You got Did you do it to yourself on purpose?
Nope.
Oh, they just said, "Oh, well, she's
They
not
said,
in."
"Go fuck your mother."
I
It's
also
like,
got
Yeah.
rejected.
Yamada. You did?
Jake,
Gosh,
why'd
two-
you get rejected? They're like, look at this guy in the
Didn't know.
tie. There's no way.
Oh wait, no. Actually, I think I told them I work in the news because at the time I did.
Oh,
Oh.
that's it. That's enough. Yes. Because that could be a
But
conflict.
when
of
I
interest.
said that, they didn't say, "All right, get out." They had me sit back down, and then just later they told a group of us, "All right, go." And I was like, "Okay." And I could have gone back to work, but instead, I didn't.
You got a free day off.
Look
Yeah.
at the
I'm-
joke in the chat, Matt or Broomer. Come on, it's a perfect one for you.
I'm going to be like, can I need the money. Let me stay. I could chalk outline a dead body, but the cops said they already had that covered. That's awesome.
That's a Matt.
I had a guy call in
Thank you.
to my show the other night who was trying to prank me we had a debate. He was being the libertarian. We were
Yeah.
debating lonely men because we had a serious
This was a
call
real
about that.
debate?
Lonely
Well,
man.
I exposed him because at the end he said he'd never called in, he'd never watched a show. He was here because he thought it was going to be with Ronald Reagan or John from San Antonio, and it's just me.
Oh.
And then
Oh.
at the end, he said something like, "What is that? One of your dad jokes?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you never watched a show." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh," and he hung up.
Motherfucker, gotcha.
It's pretty funny.
It was good though. It was a good
I didn't
debate. I was
watch-
like,
I
"Are they
did not
lonely
watch
or
the
are they
whole show.
bored?" Oh, why?
I
That's
don't
okay.
know.
No, it's all right.
What happened Monday night? I don't know, whatever. But I am much better. Last week, when I left and I got off early, I felt like I was pretty much going to die. And I
Oh.
had a terrible fever and I was so sick, felt like really like I was going to die. Got into bed under the electric blanket and sweated it out. By Thursday, I was fine.
Yeah,
Isn't
what
it
kind
funny?
of
It was
virus is that?
fighting one. That's what the doctor. You are fighting a virus. I mean, I had a dry cough. I've had a dry cough. That's it. But I mean, that's it. So either I'm healthy or I
That's
was really sick.
awesome.
Oh, look at that.
Is that Rudy Giuliani?
No,
That's
that's
behind it.
you
That's
in
you
front
with
of
your- with your
Nazi-inspired
swat- Yeah,
American
your
first
Not-
things.
You're not the
Good Lord.
insignia. Is it for
It
sale?
is a. It's my sash.
You got to put is that your armband? Is that what that is?
I have a 50 yeah. I have oh, look at that. It says sash. Look at that.
Just like my pageant days.
And the only thing that's visible, of course, is America First.
That's hilarious.
I'm 50 a.m.
That is funny. That
One
is funny.
second.
50 America first.
So
Oh, good grief.
today, oh God. So today is the 18th of December. Like things
Yeah.
are going fast. And
How so? What do you
the
mean?
time.
Oh, you mean
just time.
the news cycle?
Yeah, the news cycle just
Full throttle.
I can't believe we're already in December. We were just sitting here and it was hot. Summertime. It's like, wow. I think as you get older, it goes faster. But and I don't know how any of you feel, but during this time of year, besides being sick, a lot of people get blue, very sad. Maybe it's borderline depression. I don't know. They get blue, seasonal affect disorder, it's called, or blue, just don't like the holidays. So Jim Massa, who is our oceanographer on my channel, he lives in Fairbanks. He's like, oh, you have to get the lights, these really special bright lights. I'm like, okay, I'll get the lights. Think about what it's like in Alaska when it never gets light, at that certain time of year.
Yeah.
So I guess there's somebody that knows me. I still didn't order the lights. If I sit in here, there's enough bright lights where I'm certainly not sad. I'm not even sad. I just wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
I know, Jay.
I don't know. There's something to be said for that. The light theory. Like if you have artificial sunlight, I haven't tried it, but I buy it.
Jake,
Well,
you
Pete
need to
says they
find a good arm wrestling competition, because even losing an arm, first of all, very rare that you would get hurt doing that, right?
Have you seen Over the Top?
And that is not the kind of competition I'm talking about. And
that's exactly what I was thinking.
if you win, awesome. If you lose, also great. You're going to come out of there going, I feel alive again. Very invigorating. Just go to a bar and go, who's fucking ready? And put your elbow.
Oh, jeez. Just go to a
that
bar
I truly do enjoy.
How often do you do that now in your
I used to do it all the time.
Your town of 2 bars.
Oh, I would do it. Yeah, a bunch of old guys.
You'll win.
I used
You
to
fit right in.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Good.
That's really good.
That's really, really
Jake,
good.
I wish you had the sound effect. That's great,
not bad
Jake.
at all.
I
do have sound effects. I don't think they're what you're looking for, but
not that applause. Oh, I like that one. That's cool. That's like, okay.
I got Andrea. They're dumb.
One of the lights. Okay. So I should get the light. Oh, I like that one.
I
should get the light bulbs. Okay.
That one's called Where's Jake? Just kidding. The last show.
Jake here tonight.
My bad. John from San Antonio was on, and there was a part where I was like, oh my God, I hope Andrea, I said in the chat, I hope Andrea is watching this right now. Because he said, I don't blame voters. Because a lot of voters are smart, but most voters are not smart. And I was like, where is and this is like speaking to Andrea's heart. Well, no, you think voters are dumb, right?
I would argue about 93% of people in general are dumb.
I think that's where we were going with it.
He said tonight, though, he did say that voters, they weren't familiar.
They're just not prepared.
Okay, but wait. But familiar with a guy that's been on the news whose name is on every station.
Okay,
100 fucking times a day.
This
all
is a
the
real.
Last 4 years. But John said they weren't familiar with him. I'm like, how could you not be?
No, that's a real thing. People forget, man. They don't know he's a convicted rapist. They don't know how many times he was impeached or what for. They don't.
This is why I brought up the Velcro shoes earlier.
People will say, there was a guy who told me, this is a smart person, said, yeah, this guy at work was telling me that Kamala wants to give sex changes to immigrants when they're in jail. And I was like, what the fuck are you? That's what they said. And I was like, and that's where you're going with? And there are people who didn't know Biden wasn't on the ballot. And I mean, have you seen those Jimmy Kimmel things where he does the man on the street and he asks people very basic questions and they don't know anything?
It is scary.
Sometimes I wonder how many people they
There.
have to ask to find the dummies, or are they
One.
just all dummies right away?
I have gone to like I've covered Trump rallies, and I have to tell you, at least in my experience, like you don't have to interview a bunch of people to find idiots. In fact, at local news, we went out of our way to really cover up for the Republican Party and find people that sound reasonable. Those are the ones you
Oh,
have to
shit.
comb through the crowd for. Is anybody that has an even halfway respectable reason to be there. Most people are like conspiracy theory believers, or they have no idea what any of this means or does, or any of it. I'm
Trump was
shocked
Well,
God
then
knows-
I guess we really are headed to an extinction.
They're
event.
garbage. Like
Yeah.
they're just terrible. Like they're not.
Yeah.
There's nothing redeeming about them. I don't give a shit how many times they gave their like niece a candy cane on fucking Thanksgiving. These are terrible scumbag, deplorable little garbage can motherfuckers, man.
and I mean this dispassionate. I mean this
That's-
like I don't even like the damage is done. I don't care enough about him anymore to hate him. Truly, I say this with almost no passion in my heart. They are wastes of resources formed into disgusting flesh.
they don't even realize
awful.
they it's
Sandy's going further than me on the whole genocidal rhetoric thing.
Yeah, be sure that you know Sandy said it.
So that's why I'm looking at my own.
see
channel.
that's why
Sandy
look
from
we're gonna
Left Past
rehash this is why I said we shouldn't do it in the first place. It gets very confusing anyway. Look, they
Sandy.
don't realize their own collective power is the thing. You could tell these
If
guys
they
like
did, we'd be in a whole lot of trouble. Let's be honest.
that's what I
here.
mean. Like they could be doing a lot more than just electing Trump, but that's what they're focused on. He's our guy. It's like a mascot. I don't get it personally.
Do you
I-
think-
In all seriousness, oh, go ahead.
No,
Oh, yeah, in
mine.
all
All right,
seriousness.
mine was like you walk up to the person on the street, they don't have a clue that there's a problem with our environment or climate. I mean, they have some kind of understanding, but they don't know that there's things are changing. I don't know.
no peer review.
Where you live, Matt.
No, I mean these guys don't even ask each other, is this real? They just come up with the thought and they go, "Yeah, I just had the thought." As if no one ever had that thought, no one ever debunked that thought, no one ever fucking look it up.
I'm glad I live not that far from a university. I just-
Anyway, commune in the middle of nowhere.
We
Mm.
should be working on solving if we can convince ourselves that existence is worth saving.
to solve.
Is that people with low information who will always exist, at least in our lifetime, they have the wrong general impression. You can have low information but still have correct information, you know?
Mhm.
They have
Sure.
low information and their assumptions about what's what is totally off. So like with the United Healthcare CEO, when we discovered that nobody gave a fuck about that guy.
And they all took their
Yeah.
pictures down on their about pages. And
Yeah,
oh my
focusing
God.
on the Republican voters that didn't give a damn about him. We should have conversations with them about like, all right, so why is it you understand that this person
Hi.
is evil? And
Talking politics in the house.
Yep.
what's up, Christina? But the point is, we should have conversations where we ask people like, why is it you understand this person was evil? Okay, who's allowing them to do those evil things? 'Cause
Yeah.
the answer is Republicans.
Did you
that-
see the governor of New York wants to get a crisis hotline for health executive CEOs and shit
I
like
saw
that?
it.
Healthcare
Take
CEOs.
it back. It's
My
corporate.
God, she's going to screw my state so bad. Right now, the congressman from my district is going to be sitting, as he's a freshman, he's going to be sitting on the energy committee, I guess. And they are chomping at the bit to frack. And we have a moratorium, but they are chomping at the bit to undo all that and frack where I live and ruin all of our well water.
Ugh.
Seriously.
Elon Musk is
Vile.
gonna
What
get
do we do?
a right winger elected in the UK, and then he's gonna move around the world, and he's gonna keep doing it.
You think?
It's Elon Musk is gonna turn the whole planet into Twitter, and then he's gonna be like, "We're not at Earth anymore. We're X."
Oh,
Watch. Tell me that couldn't happen.
it's more likely to happen than not, and I'll say that
I'm saying.
at least
Alright.
50.1%
Look,
possible.
if you're suddenly like, oh my God, we got to take all our pictures and names off of our about page or meet our team website page, you have something to hide. You are guilty as fuck. You know it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
what is there to be afraid of?
Notice
oh,
that
you
they,
just
like, they're-
automatically think you're next. Oh my God.
Everybody's first instinct tells you who they are. Notice that these people were not like all these healthcare CEOs weren't like, what was he into? Was he dealing with the mob or something? No, they immediately took their information off their public pages because they knew it was because he was a healthcare CEO. And yes, the bullets had those yada yada writing on the shelves.
The guy dumped a bunch of stock,
Mhm.
created an AI to deny claims. They denied, what was it, 32%
tells
of
you
the
they know.
fucking claims?
They know what they're doing. They know they're killing people. They know
and
they're shocked every day that this doesn't happen to them. What they
Right.
it's like the slave
they
owners.
can't believe they get away with it, right?
Yeah, it's like the slave owners who were constantly paranoid about a slave uprising, and they were right to be. Because what they were doing, they knew in their heart of hearts was vile. And that's exactly what this is right now.
Now imagine the slave owners had websites with stock photos of happy people, and there's a meet our team page, and it's like, hi, I own the plantation. Yay, right? And like
Employment
then there's
opportunities. It's like a really happy looking black
Yeah.
guy in chains. Like,
and then there's an uprising, and they're like, take all that down, take all that down. Oh my God, they're gonna get us next. They're gonna come to our plantation and kill us. I mean, look, this is I don't advocate.
And why do they exist? That guy Brian was just a fucking schmuck ass that got lucky in life, that got that job because the system allowed it to happen.
yeah.
And there's how many others just like him?
and
Because our
the answer is
system allowed
conservative.
it to happen.
Yeah,
Just
and
make sure, just
Like I
spread
said.
the message to everybody you can. A simple message doesn't take much. The answer is conservatives. Why does that guy exist? Conservative policy.
privatization, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
conservative policy. Just say
Okay,
conservative.
all right, conservative policies, but there's a lot of people on the Democratic Party that
Why are
love
you
the
trying to
status
confuse people?
quo.
They're conservative.
I'm not confused. Are they
The people,
conservative?
the 93% of the country that votes with their excuse my language, dicks in their hands and their heads up their asses, need real simple messages, real basic understanding, and the basic
3
true
letters
fact-
or less.
Modern day
Conserv-
sword
con.
and shield.
Con. That's the 3-letter or less. Conservatives are the problem.
Hmm.
It's good. Yeah, there's such a
You
thing. as
can't have conservative
Democrats.
without the con.
Right.
Boom. There's such a thing as conservative Democrats. There's such a thing as
Yeah, okay, I'll
well,
give you that. You're right. Like the things that what's his name? Mansion and Cinema.
yeah.
I don't even know what you'd call them. Conservative or just grifters or just or just a controlled opposition. I don't know what
Joe
they were.
Manchin's daughter is a pharmaceutical
Right.
CEO in
Makes-
West Virginia.
Yeah, I know. Makes a lot
They're
of money.
criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the opioid epidemic? Oh yeah, West Virginia. Like holy shit!
In
And
20
people keep voting for him. Hello, I don't think there's been an awakening, but
No.
I'm glad that shit is in the public conversation right now. We need to keep talking about it. They being the mainstream are trying real hard to turn the conversation to, hey, they're just people. They had families. Okay. I'm talking about the system.
Right.
And
So
those
did the
people.
Funny part is that the CEO guy's wife like they were separated and didn't get along, and
So she knows what's up. See what I'm
yeah,
saying?
she's probably
you guys-
jumping for joy.
Did you guys see my video on the long-term disability program scam in the United States? I made a really good video describing exactly.
I'm sure I did.
Well, watch my channel. Everybody out there on everybody's channel, I have a video on the long-term disability scam in the United States. I'm trying to get traction about that because nobody's going to watch my story. But if somebody like David Sirota or somebody would take that story and run with it, that's a big scam too, because you say it's employer sponsored. You're at work, you become disabled. It takes forever to get Social Security. You get long-term disability supposedly, but the minute you get Social Security, they kick you off, they surveil you, they photograph you, they follow you, they make it really difficult, so you lose everything you thought you were going to have because you became disabled in the United States, because they are corrupt and a scam. And there are a million long-term disability lawyers, and they're to just them, not Social Security, just them
I
to
mean,
go after the insurance agents, the
And-
insurance companies.
Elon Musk is taking over now. He's doing away with Medicare Plus, and he's going to be single-handedly fucking every one dude.
If
The
I don't
one
know, we
fucking
haven't
dude.
gotten there yet because he has no power in that, and he can only
Definitely
say,
going to happen.
You don't think that him and Trump are going to have a big falling out?
No,
No.
and look, the only way he gets out of this is because it's not as profitable as he thought, or he makes enough money to move on. Here's the thing. Like I said, he's going to make his way around the world. They made Luigi, what's his name?
Whatever.
Mancioni or
Something.
something. They made
Mancioni.
him. They labeled him a terrorist.
I know.
So now they're like, you don't have any.
Anti-Italian
He's
discrimination.
not a
Oh,
terrorist.
think
because
it's
he's
accurate,
Italian,
actually.
he's a terrorist. Give me a
Yeah.
fucking break.
That is an accurate description.
I don't
is
think.
my
I don't.
think
I don't
so?
think
Terrorist?
technically it is though. I was listening to Sam talk about what makes somebody a terrorist, and the threat
pretty
was to one
straightforward.
single person. No, I mean he just walked up and killed anybody who murders somebody on the streets. A
He's
terrorist
a
now?
terrorist.
No. Why would that be?
Why?
So
what makes this
he
guy
wrote
not
on
that
the
though?
shelves.
You mean because it was
he had
planned?
a very no, because he had
Was
a
a
very
Unabomber
specific-
labeled a terrorist? I'm just curious. I don't
Yeah,
know if he
maybe.
was.
Yes.
Okay, so in the
I don't
law,
think.
terrorist, you are let's be clear. You are a terrorist if you are using violence or the threat
Oh,
of violence to
yeah.
achieve a political goal.
so I guess they can.
I
They
don't.
just-
I don't know if he was really.
well,
Was he
there's
trying
two
to
things.
achieve a
There's the
political goal?
definition of terrorist and whether or not this person deserves the charge of terrorism. Those are
Hmm.
two separate conversations. So, like, yeah, is he technically a terrorist? Probably. Is it a good form of terrorism? I don't know.
He told the
I
only
mean-
other person there to leave.
You could argue that he was doing that for revenge for his own personal spine issue. That it could be that, in which case the
Well,
name terrorist.
right,
Are
But
school
he,
shooters terrorists?
but he had a whole.
Absolutely.
He had a.
No, I have. They
uh,
technically. I don't
document.
know.
Are they terrorists?
Arguably, it would depend on case to case. What were you saying, Sandy?
I thought that Luigi had a written. He had a written document. He also had talked about it. I mean, he had intent, but is it terrorism? But maybe it's very hard. I'm not a lawyer.
I mean, we'll find
None
out.
of us are lawyers.
In court, we'll find out ultimately why he was doing this thing. Was it just for personal revenge, or was he hoping to change?
Oh
the system?
no,
He
it was
Dude,
not. He was
if he
trying
was-
to change. This was a big
Yeah.
thing.
There's no
because he was
proof
trying
that
to change
Luigi even did it.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I
it
keep
might not have
thinking-
been Luigi.
Yeah, it's true.
There
I
might
keep
be a
thinking
Waluigi out there, a very similar looking guy.
Maybe.
people are gonna idolize him and turn him into some sort of a folk hero, and then
I
he's
hope
gonna
not.
get up in court and try and sell an NFT
Yeah.
and push crypto, and they'll be like, "Oh fuck,"
Well,
or he'll be a
buy
Zionist
I-
or something like that, and they'll be like,
I will
"Ah,
absolutely
another
buy
one."
Luigi coin. Sign me up.
The Amazing Atheist did a very good piece on this, and I thought he made sense. Actually, TJ, he did a good piece on the intent and the whole overview of our, the system and maybe through this guy's eye, and and this guy, this Luigi guy, was nothing like their, the right wing media wants to paint him as a lefty, but he wasn't. He was conservative. He was a middle of the road conservative. He followed on Twitter. They took it down, then they put it back up, and he followed people like Joe Rogan. But he also followed AOC. He followed a wide variety. He wasn't a radical. Nothing.
He's a radical centrist.
A radical centrist.
That's what it is. And
yeah.
that's how you know how far right our healthcare system is there exists a radical centrist that was so goddamn radicalized by their centrist politics that they shot and killed somebody.
Andrea,
Let me just say,
actually would really be an interesting piece.
That's almost as good as you can't have conservative without the con. Good job, Andrea.
Yeah. Wow.
Lefties, I first of all want to say I'm proud of you, because not for a moment did I suspect that this was a leftist behind it. None of these times it has been a leftist. We consistently show ourselves to be the morally correct group, and I'm proud of you. Now, if you're out there thinking, oh boy, I think in the coming days we might need some more Luigi-style stuff, I've got great news for you, which is that right-wingers, as they suffer from their own victory, are
They're going to start losing their shit.
They're going to Luigi themselves.
They're going to start doing this stuff themselves. So keep the reputation of the left clean, which means keep your hands clean, and let these idiots panic in their own unique way.
And definitely do not go to fucking McDonald's and eat hash browns in the corner if you do anything, unless you want to get caught. And if you want to get caught, I think it's possible that this guy isn't the real guy and is just someone who wants to take credit.
I don't know. I think maybe
that 200-word thing.
Maybe he decided
he showed
that
his face
but
ahead
maybe
of time.
For him, a prison sentence was worth opening up this can of worms in the country where nothing else was. Protest wasn't.
Money.
Nothing was.
He had a lot of money. How hard would it be to coordinate? You do it. I'll take the fall.
Boy, are we speculating?
I don't know, man. I mean, because either that or he did it and did something that was either dumb or didn't care if he got caught. I mean,
I think he didn't care if he got caught for the bigger
but
picture.
What was up with the solid getaway just to get caught a couple of days later? I mean, he had a great getaway. He was long gone. They were like, New York, we need your help finding him. Everyone was like, fuck you.
Boy, the movie's gonna be good.
And then he's like, what? He's like, well, I just had a hankering for hash browns, man, from that one McDonald's. I mean, come on.
Is that why he doesn't want to get extradited?
I don't know. I'm just saying that was a pretty sweet getaway. And then,
all right, Matt, we don't
busted
know.
Right away. Yeah, we don't know.
I'm waiting for the movie.
I'm waiting for him to get up and be like, buy my NFT. And everyone's like, ah, fuck.
It wasn't. Right.
Crypto.
No.
LuigiCrypto.com.
All right.
This defense brought to you by
Hello?
What's the buy market?
Hello?
Hey.
Are we still talking about Luigi? What are you popping over
this
there?
is my it's hitting me face.
Oh my god, this cat's scratching at the door.
This one is like, it's starting to hit.
Oh. I'll be right back. I gotta keep this cat from scratching.
That sounds like that doesn't sound like you actually need to keep a cat from scratching. I need to keep this cat from scratching.
Yeah, that actually does sound like a jazz slang of some sort. That cat's scratching.
Somebody's baking brownies.
Sounds like a 1950s
Stop it.
compliment or insult.
Stupid cat scratches at the door. He scratches at all the doors to nowhere. He just scratches doors. And so I have to put a shelf. I pull a shelf in front of this door so he can't get to the door to scratch it while I'm doing this. He's crazy. He needs a bath.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
right. I'm going with Pinkerbell's theory on that one.
I don't know what was it.
That's code for going off screen.
No, it really wasn't.
It was
it was boom, boom, boom at the door.
Well, either way, I got to keep this cat from scratching. I'll be right back. No, see what I'm saying?
That's new slang now. We're using that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's
Back
in
in my
uh,
day, we just said,
lingo.
"Be right back."
Yeah. Officer, I've got to keep the cat from scratching.
And that cop would be like,
Oh,
I understand. I've been there. You can go. Feel free to go.
oh,
Just slow down.
man.
Stop driving like you
Man.
stole it.
Man, yeah, but quite frankly, this cat my mother thinks has dementia. When I describe the things he does, scratching at nothing, and he's weird.
Cats.
Cats, oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
have
but
eight now.
everyone thinks cats can see like ghosts and stuff.
Everyone
No,
thinks
he
that.
just
I don't
likes
think that.
Scratching at the door.
Yeah, like cats
I don't
will
think that
run
at
into a
all.
room and like suddenly leave
In
right
fact,
away.
I think
and-
that that's a ridiculous statement.
No, I'm just saying that's like an old thing where people.
Very old.
I do like that though. I
Well,
don't
you
believe
don't
it. I
know.
like it. I think it's awesome. I love the idea that cats are just looking at ghosts and what have you.
Somebody told me that, or somebody asked me at the end of the call-in show the other night if I had any scary stories, and I was like just drawing a blank. It was almost a 3-hour show, talking to a bunch of people about a bunch of stuff, and I was drawing a blank, and I was like, I know I do, and then I went off air, and they all came back, and I was like, fuck, I could have told some pretty solid.
Fuck.
I don't know if they're like scary stories, but they were scary to me. They're scary things
Yeah.
that
I
happened to me.
got a scary story.
Hit me.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Oh, thank you, Morbius Dragon.
All right, I'm not going to tell the story.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
why?
Can you
No,
do
I was
this
just
to
I
us?
was just going to explain some someone dying in front of me and
Oh,
Oh,
I thought
Jesus. Yeah, that is.
I got a scary story. I've been called for jury duty.
Ah,
Oh, that's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to raise my hand, and they'll be like, "Yeah," and I'll say, "I hate to tell you this, but I got to keep this cat from scratching." Is that what it was?
You gotta keep this cat.
my cat is scratching
I
up a
can't
I got to
Yeah.
keep
right
this
now.
Scratch the
cat from
door.
scratching the door.
Yeah, for
If
20
you know what I mean. And they're going to be like, "You're off," or I don't know. Maybe around
You
my
should
town
just
that might be good.
big show them. You should just show up and be like, wait for like a full 10 minutes or something, and then just start clearing your throat louder and louder. And when they finally get to you, be like, "Do you not recognize me? Are you seriously going to sit there and pretend like you don't recognize
I'm the
me?"
only liberal in this town. I'm the only
You can just,
liberal
like,
in the whole village.
Presume everybody watches every night and just be like, "What the?"
So,
Why are you
Matt,
playing
are
this
you
game?
worried about yourself after January 20th? Any
No.
militias?
No,
I
all
hear-
these guns
I
are
hear
pointed
there's-
outward. I'm not worried
I
about
hear
this.
that there's a lot of
Famous last words.
a lot of
embedded.
They're
militias
conservative
being
militia. They're pussies.
You guys know that my dream is to die fighting for my freedom without being in the military in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Like for
Really?
someone to
Yeah,
That's your
genuinely for your
dream?
freedom, not to oppress
Dying
somebody else.
for
Your
your
dream is
bounty.
to fucking die.
I
That's a
want
weird dream.
to
village liberal.
Wouldn't you want
I-
to live and then have freedom happen? Why do you
Because
want to
if-
die for it?
listen, because if I live, that's the ultimate fucking story. They're all going to be clamoring to get the scoop, the exclusive from this guy who beat the terrorist on the plane. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
You want to
So
go
why do you
out
So-
want to die?
So
in
that I
death.
can say, they'll say, "How'd you do it? It was amazing. Yeah, you fought. They were going to take over the plane and crash it, and you beat them. How'd you do it?" And I'll go, "What do you mean? How did I do it? I'm on the left, bitch," and then walk
Ah.
away.
Bitch.
And they'll be like,
Oh
"Oh
my
shit!"
God, here I am.
I'll be like, "I'm
scared of
woke. It's our
undercover-
agenda."
Ugh.
I know. I don't know. I
I think it's getting a little scary out there when you
I'm not
hear
worried about
people
that.
telling that. Well, I had hired somebody once to work for me. I think I told you guys this story. Told them on Sunday, and he had told me that he was just outside loading wood, and he told me he listened to this guy, Salty Cracker. That fucking guy's a Nazi. I listened to that talk show after he told me that's who he listened to, and I never asked him. I told him, "Don't come back. Don't come back
Yeah.
to my property or anything."
Yeah,
He was,
jeez.
but they're radicalizing people like that in places where I
Yeah,
live.
but they work in groups. They all dress the same. They march around. I think
Are
it's
we
very
sure?
rare. I don't think I live in a
All right.
town where there's one-offs, and not really worried about it.
All right.
The
I know,
generation that
Yeah.
tried so hard to get anything interesting taken off of TV or pulled out of comic books were telling on themselves so hard. We could all handle, intricate stories or a story with a nuanced message. These fucking knuckleheads get told by some jackass in their truck, in their garage, unironically with the window closed in the truck or the door closed and the truck on, some rant about how frogs are being turned gay or whatever, and they just immediately believe it. They have absolutely no media literacy. They should
think-
Yeah, but
they
it's the
personally
hatred that's being.
should
It's
not
the
be
anger and
allowed
hatred.
to view videos
Oh.
online. If their family loves them, they should just say, I'm assuming uncle, whatever, you're too dumb for this.
They're not going to
Yeah,
send
I
them.
literally though, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like you need to intervene. I'm sorry, Uncle Motherfuck. You are too fucking stupid for this. You gotta
We
take
already
your
knew you were small and a rotten. Your soul isn't good. We already knew that about you. But now you're being used for a villain's ends. Not unlike a goblin, if you will, being plucked up by an evil wizard. It's not like the goblin is particularly formidable, but you're now part of something that is quite harmful to the world.
It's like
and you
taking
can't be
grandma's
trusted.
keys away. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you just have to fucking intervene.
Yeah.
You know, I love freedom, I love liberty, but when someone is out there watching Joe Rogan, you got to put them out. You get sorry. You need
No,
to
In all
get a
honesty,
hobby.
sincerely,
They're
if you
watching
see somebody
Salty
watching,
Cracker.
if one of your friends watches one of those things and you know what they are, the Joe Rogans, the Salty Crackers, whatever, do just voice the fact that it's not okay. You don't actually have to physically take their phone or put a parental lock. We're making jokes there. That's an unreasonable expectation. What is not an unreasonable explanation, and what I think you have a moral obligation to do, is inform them that it's not okay and not joke with them about Joe Rogan or not listen to the interesting thing Joe Rogan said. You say, I have no interest in what this guy has to say. Don't play this clip for me. Don't, and you should be ashamed that you watched that because he's got people killed.
Did you happen to
that's
hear? Did you happen to hear Hassan's piece on the
No.
young woman that shot up the school and
Is
killed
there a
herself in
transcript where he's
Wisconsin?
not eating a meatball sub while saying the words?
Meatball sub, is that
This guy
is
like
that a
always seems
racial-
to be eating while
Why is it a
he's
meatball sub?
Who, Hassan?
because he's always eating a submarine
Oh.
sandwich
Well, it
whenever
was
I
just-
tune in. It's like,
I
good lord,
listened.
man.
He did a good job though with this, talking about this young girl and how these.
There's
people
another
are-
shooting. What
they're-
happened?
in Wisconsin? Was it Wisconsin? It was a girl at a
Yeah.
Catholic school, 15 years old. And
Catholic school.
Yep,
Nice.
and she killed herself. She was radicalized on
Very
like
nice.
all the radicalized with all these worldwide like Nazi movements and fascists, and she was on Telegram.
A
they
Nazi
don't know how
shooter
she-
at a Catholic school. Wow.
A 15-year-old girl,
The
and
first school shooting was a girl.
it's so sad. They're getting radicalized because they're isolated and they're home online doing nothing but joining these underground groups that I don't know much about,
Look,
but I really don't.
let me tell you, if militias thought they were going to do some damage and start rounding people up in my town, it would be a 3-hour shootout with a lot of people. There
It'd
are
be
a
like
lot
a
of
93 faction shootout.
there's a lot of gun violence in this town. It is like 7th
What?
in the country. Yeah,
Your little town?
yeah.
Per
You
capita,
do
that makes sense.
Is it
nobody.
random crime or is it people killing each other because like someone took a hay bale or
Before
something?
you answer that, let me
Jeez.
take a guess from ignorance. It is absolutely people that know each other. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you shouldn't have come in here.
Wow.
But there's a lot of, I mean, I just imagine they're like, we're the militia, we're here. Bloodshed. The Civil War would be over within minutes. It would
But
just,
who's
it
going
would
to
end
fight
so quickly.
against who there?
It's
Who's fight-
class
Class
Here, yeah.
war. Oh, wow. Jeez,
And
this is
race and all that.
interesting.
It would just, it's so segregated here. Like the places that were last to get cleaned up after the hurricane and the power was out, it was like,
Yeah.
I guess it could be a coincidence, but
Oh
because
boy.
you would drive to a part of town and just be like, what the fuck are there still trees in the road for? Why are there no cones? Why isn't this blocked off? And they're like, oh.
Maybe I should be happy I live in New York, even if it is red Western New York. God.
But I
Mm.
mean, it would be over pretty quickly. And I happen to think that there's a look, it would be, I'm not trying to give them any ideas, but it would be smarter if they use the IRS to go after the left. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think that's
Yeah.
actually what's going to happen.
As opposed to sending militias to your door and
The
being like,
IRS. I thought they wanted to abolish the IRS.
I hope Matt doesn't have guns. No, well, see,
And
that's
the
the
thing
thing is they get the IRS to a point where they don't go after people with lawyers because they can't afford it. They defund the IRS to the point where they only go
Right.
after you if you can't lawyer up.
I
That's
don't-
the trick.
I think we consistently underestimate how bad things are. Like they don't go after us for like what? To stop us from what they got it. All they have to do is flick the switches, and that's what it appears they're going
Don't do
to
anything wrong.
To say like,
Deny
yeah,
your
okay,
fucking claims, even.
all
Wow.
the stuff we want to do is legal now. That's
See, this is something I know that a lot of people are talking and speculating and all, and I find the politics part of all of what's happening to be, for me, more terrifying than the fact that I absolutely understand how fucked we are with the climate and the environment and how we are ruining the planet. And I'm so, I guess, numb and expecting of all that when I think of all these other things politically that are happening on the ground now in this time in history, it's scary. It's terrifying, really.
yeah. Sad.
People just, it's sad. I mean, people, the isolation, the AI coming too. You know, I have a friend that writes me all the time about AI. He literally puts something he puts my show on, or he asks AI, and AI writes a whole a synopsis of my shows.
In August,
Unreal.
I'm just thinking about all this random shit right now. Sorry.
That's fine. It's okay. This is
There
our
was
show
a
to do that.
There was a picture of Kamala Harris on, I think it was Time Magazine in August. I don't know. It wasn't like a recent issue because I was in a place with a bunch of kids where they just had magazines to make collages and stuff. And there was like 6 middle school aged black girls. And I said, you guys, pretty exciting, huh? And I held up the picture and I was like, I don't know if you've heard, but it's running for president. And they were like, who's that? And I was like, it's Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States, like the current vice president. And then I did that thing that I do with my father-in-law where I'm like, do you know who Yoda is? How about Luke Skywalker? What about the Fonz? You know, I just started asking all these random pop culture things, but I did it with politics and said, do you know who Joe Biden is? And like 2 of them did. And I said, what about Bernie Sanders? I was like, you guys are in school now. Like, I definitely knew Ronald Reagan, George Bush, you know, H, right? I knew who Bill Clinton, I knew who the fucking president and vice presidents were when I was in school, just because how could you not, right? But like, their scope didn't go past what the people in that room were into at the moment.
Yeah, there
And it
is
was like an
interest.
anime or something.
And
Can
the
I just
reason
say,
there
I
isn't an
think
interest
the
is
oh,
because
sorry.
they don't do anything. No, that's the whole point. There isn't an interest, and the reason there isn't an interest is because the politicians, by and large, don't actually do anything because they're too conservative. All right, go ahead.
Well, I just said I thought like the visual that I had of like Matt like going up to like a group of black children and showing them a picture of a black lady.
I was
and
their
saying, "Isn't that
teacher."
exciting?"
No, I was supposed to be there. I
What?
did.
They got
That's
a
not.
magazine. Isn't
It
that
didn't
wild?
It didn't go in the exact way that I just did it, where I was like, "You guys, pretty exciting, huh?" That was me summarizing. I said, "Check it out. Did you guys hear that Kamala Harris is running for president?" And they were like, "Who is that?"
Oh my God, we are.
I
in
wasn't
trouble.
like, hey, you guys.
yeah.
Hmm? Like I was holding a box of donuts. Pretty good, huh? What do you
That's
think?
The way you told the story, man, you just held up. Like to them, they don't know who Kamala Harris is. So like you're just holding up a picture of some random black lady. Hey guys.
Oh,
No, some of them did not know who Trump was, Annie Bo. Tell you the truth. I
Well,
went down the list. Believe me.
ignorance is bliss in that case.
how old are they?
Well, they
How-
would have been middle school. So 4 years earlier, they wouldn't have
Imagine finding
known.
out about Trump for the first time.
But
Jesus. Yeah.
Everyone's
Oh,
got to
God.
do it someday, right?
Dude, this coming Gen Z, I have bad news for you. The next generation will not forgive you for this. Or us millennials.
yeah, I mean, if you listen to the Vanguard, it's all Gen X's fault.
yeah.
They
But
hate Gen
I
X,
can't
and I'm like,
express-
I'm sorry.
I just look.
should be.
We
There's a
did
lot of Gen Z
recycling.
folks who, for the first time, are dealing with this. That some of us
It's not really
have,
funny. I feel very.
veteran status with, and that is having your generation fail at a crucial moment, and the world getting worse for everybody as a result. Mine has multiple times now. I'm
Every
damn
generation
disappointed.
has failed, Jake Sandy, in
Yeah.
some sort of way. Every generation has culpability
Yeah.
for whatever's happening to the next one.
True.
You really can't ascribe
And-
just one generation.
No, you
My
can't. But this is the
mother-
first
my
time
mother's
it's happening for
generation-
Gen Z.
Yeah.
This is the
I
first
mean-
real big one where the next generation will
What's-
hold it against you. And Gen
what is
Z,
the
let me
next
tell you,
one?
I don't know or care. But let me tell
No,
you,
that's where they start doing generation.
they're
Alpha,
right.
isn't
A? Alpha.
Gen Z, the next generation, you're gonna want to say, "Oh, but all these things don't own it. Just
In a
own
hunt. I mean, that's a good point, man. Well said. I do think in 100 years they're going to be like Generation Double Z 12 fucked everything up.
Yeah,
but
Like
I-
at some point that shit runs out, and we just all have to
100
be here now in
years,
the present. But
yes, I think that's the best way to live now in the present.
yep, I want to
And make changes
also
for now in the present.
super random. I want to start calling Jake. I got a couple of nicknames I'm lining up here.
it.
Who?
Either running
I don't know
scared
who that
because
is.
the leather jacket and the hoodie, or Detroit Rock City. I don't know. There's something very outside in wintertime right now but also undercover cop. Like he's growing his
literally-
beard out.
I would love to suggest
the job.
Lumberjake,
Yeah.
but
No,
unfortunately,
Lumberjake is
leather.
damn good.
we got
Oh.
Lumber Sandy. Unfortunately,
Oh, yeah.
Um,
That's right. I'm wearing green. This Jake is wearing.
Oh, I like that. I do
Oh,
like that shirt, by
green.
the way.
No green
It's got a
screen.
cute pattern on it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
old. I dug it out of
Yeah.
a box in the basement. It's great cleaning up shit. You find new clothes. You don't have to
I
buy
just
any.
think
It's the best.
it's very undercover cop.
Yeah.
1986, 87 right
He just
now.
needs the Maverick.
It's like a Nighthawk or
Maverick.
hold on, Martin
sister-
Goldstein. Hold on, I'll make you a.
In the 80s.
All right, some of you on his channel, go over to my chat for a while. Intermingle. Intermingle.
Because we don't like you, Martin.
we got
Go over-
Sandy
go over to-
begging for viewers live on.
No,
stream.
go over to Jake's chat. Yeah, but you don't have yours up on your channel, so nobody can go over there. And where the hell is where's everybody that comes on your channel, Andrea? Where are they?
I don't know why I'm busting
Where's
Martin's
Mila?
balls, by the
Where's
way.
Mila? It's
Sorry.
early in California. Mila should be here.
Ask
Mila's
Larry.
busy. Mila
Yeah, I
is
know, she
active.
busy. I know she's
She's
active.
activated.
She is.
She
a good-
does
she's a
things
good
unlike
active
us.
person.
Yeah, undercover or like rookie detective or like
No, I
like
used
Jake
to-
shows up for undercover work and they're like, no glasses and put a knit cap on and
A Nick.
do you smoke? Start smoking.
You know what? I would love to write a thing where a guy's playing an undercover cop trying to infiltrate as a criminal, and he full on wears a black and white striped shirt and like a ski mask with a thing. Shows
you
up with a big
remember
floppy
He
bag
asked
with the,
just as a
Good
fashion
at it.
accessory.
what was the okay, I like when they make funny characters out of police chiefs. Like So I Married an Axe Murderer. That was a good one where the police chief was like really nice and even keeled, and they were like, dude, this is not working as a police chief. So there would be scenes where he'd get all pissed off and start yelling at people like a real cop, and he would leave. He would come back in and go, "Is that okay?
Right.
Was it too heavy? Did I throw?" And they're like, "No, that was
oh,
good.
yeah, yeah.
But then there was another one where, what was it? It was Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, and Michael Keaton is their chief, and he keeps quoting TLC
Yes.
as if he
yes.
doesn't know it's a
The other
TLC
guys.
lyric. The other
It's
guys,
so
yeah.
good. It's so good.
And like at the end, I think Will Ferrell shot. And he's like, "Don't go chasing waterfalls." He goes, "You're doing it again with the TLC." He goes, "What? What do you mean?"
You can't not know what that's from. You can't not know. It's amazing.
Oh, sorry, I had to go off on that.
Real quick, just
Adam
as it
McKay
needs to be
movie.
mentioned, I consistently, when I see a pillow, say "huge pillow" in
Yeah.
reference to "So I
Oh,
Married
he's
an
gonna
Axe Murderer."
cry himself to sleep with his huge head on his huge pillow.
Pella.
It's just referring to a young relative. It's Mike Myers playing an older character
Kid
talking about a young
pants.
relative
No.
who's got a gigantic head. That's it. It's very fun.
Look at his huge head.
Do you have anything coming up, Jake, like acting wise?
I do actually. In a very short amount of time, I'm going to.
Rookie cop. Oh.
Oh no!
Nice.
No, that's
He was
Well,
afraid.
honestly, this is Sandy's fault for dead naming Sandy once again.
shit.
Bullied Sandy into leaving.
He said, "Don't call me Jake." I've been calling him Jake all
That's
night.
right.
Though, sorry.
There he goes.
So
Look,
this is what
I was
this
gonna.
is- yep.
I was gonna make the impassioned plea to get Jake to make more content. We need Jake back on there. This
Yeah.
is bullshit.
Yeah, there's a lot he could talk about besides the orange.
I'd
turd.
prefer Sandy get on the ground. The air, a little too occupied.
All right. Well,
I showed my wife the George Carlin sketch where he's talking about how we use too many words nowadays. He goes, "We would like to now begin the boarding process." Process. Unnecessary word. Too many words. It's and then he's talking about how they say you can now get on the plane. He's like, "Fuck that shit. I'm getting in the plane. You can get on the plane." So that shit holds up. And he's like,
that shit.
we have an emergency situation. He's like, situation, too many words. It's all a situation. Just say we have an emergency. That should be enough.
Really, it should be an emergent situation. That would be more,
good one.
that would be grammatically correct.
Emergent.
Yeah, Matt
Well,
is not a
Jake, so I
boomer.
guess
That's
Jake-
right.
No, I'm not either. I'm Generation Jones. I'm after boomer. I
Looks
guess.
like Jake became a member of your channel.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Andy. Yeah,
I just saw that.
new member.
Oh, cool. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I'm Gen X, 1974.
I'm not telling. Women doesn't tell her age.
In the 80s, I used to pull
Ancient.
my. We had those. We called them patty boys. They were striped socks that you would pull up to your knees with the different colored stripes on them. I have no idea. There was no rhyme or reason to the color that they used, and it was just they were cool, man. And like
Ooh, man.
OP corduroy shorts in the summer.
So you're
And
wearing
then-
knee highs?
And then thankfully it got back to or we segued into like skating apparel with like baggy shorts and loose fitting clothing. That was when it got really cool.
Really cool.
Man,
wore
I
Levi's.
miss the 80s. Just being a kid in the 80s was so much fun. Oh my God. It was so fun. I remember when I was 13, I
married.
tried weed and I was just like, oh wow. I was like, I am loving life.
Loving life.
I just remember summer times in the 80s when even when we would be bored out of our mind, I was like, this is still the best. Right. And then my friends would be like, yeah, this is great.
I was pretty young in the 80s still. I was riding my motorcycle. I got married at the end of the 80s. First time.
The other night I was talking to, I think it was Dave, one of the callers, mentioned that he was
Yeah.
50 and single, and I said, you know what? Let me ask you this, because I don't know if I'm suddenly single. I don't think I have any game, right?
Oh my God, that's not gonna happen. Suddenly single.
No, but I'm just
Sounds
saying, like,
a cheese product.
no, I just have to think of myself at this age, having
Yeah.
been married all this time. If
Right.
just for some reason I would just be like not in the dating scene. I would not be going out to bars like, I want to pick up girls. There's
Right.
nothing they'd be like,
No.
who's this square? Right.
Square.
But then Sassy Sassarai in the chat
Oh, that's nice, Andrea.
put together a string of all the things that I had said about myself
Cute.
in that night. And it was, I have no game.
I like.
I have lots of friends who give me free stuff and vote me leader of a jury, and I was voted employee of the year, but I have no game. That's pretty good. Because not only was I voted jury foreman, I was voted employee of the year.
Hmm.
And there was like 300 people
There
voting.
you go.
So
You want to know what the worst thing is? I've gone out a few times, and it's not me, it's just me watching. You go out and everybody's out, and all the really old dudes are like trying to edge up and pick up the real young ones.
oh,
I like to watch.
got to
but
shoot their shot.
It's hilarious. These
I would love to go out and have fun.
No,
I would
I'm
love to
just-
go hang out with people.
Yeah,
And
but
but
I watch, and I just think it's funny. But I don't go out really, so
I would never be the guy at the bar who's like, hey, I'm Matt. How are you? Can I buy you a drink? Come here often. Like, that's not going to be. And like, if you go out, I think it's so weird that if you go out
Yeah.
with the intent of scoring, right? Like, you're either going to hook up with people who only do that, which is, we're still in a pandemic. So, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, you're the scummiest guy in the room, right? Are there
Scummiest
places?
guy.
I just think of
Oh,
Beavis
my-
and Butthead every time.
Yeah. Are there places you can go where it's obvious that you're going to be there to pick somebody up?
Well, yeah, probably.
Where like singles bars were a
Oh,
thing
I
way
don't-
back, but
Right.
nowadays, is there a place where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, if you go in there,
There's 2 bars in a
Called
30-mile
Discord.
radius where I live, so I don't know what people do in the. I know that before I moved here, we still used to go out all the time, and people were always out at all the different places, seeing music and going out. But it doesn't happen much down here because if you go out, you take your life in your hands to drive home in the dark, pitch dark with deer everywhere.
yeah, here too.
Yeah.
People are asking me, am I going to do anything with the Anna Kasparian drawing?
There's a
Did
drawing.
anybody? Well, Anna Asparagus drawing. Did anybody
yeah.
watch?
And asparagus.
Andrea, I immediately sent it to you.
I don't
How
have
do you
it.
put me on the spot like
Is
that?
it in the Discord? Did you put it in the Discord? In the
No, I don't
private
think I
one?
did. So what happened
I see
was
what the other
last
one you
night
put in.
on clickbaity
Yeah.
political thirst trap with Marcus, Ben, and Mondale. They were, long story short, Ben Dixon's mom saw his video about Anna Kasparian and said,
What the
who's this Anna Asparagus person? And he's
Oh.
like, asparagus? So then at the end of their show, before they read the super chats, he said, I've put this on TikTok and YouTube short, different versions, so watch them both. But he said, yeah, that Anna Asparagus thing is really resonating with the chat. And he's like, and they were like, oh, you know why? Because asparagus is bitter and blah blah and all this stuff. And then he said, hold on. Is Matt the letter hack in the audience right now? We need to get him to draw this. And I drew it in like 6 minutes. And the last thing in the chat before they ended the show was me saying, I got the image. And so
Damn.
immediately I got Mondale and Ben calling and texting me saying, we went live again. We went live again. Show us the image. So they went back on there
That's good. That's good.
just to show
That's cool.
the image. Yeah, it was funny. I can show you, I guess. Yeah, here I can share the short. Oh, this is funny because this, yeah, here. Okay, this is what we'll watch.
All right, show.
Because this is Ben explaining what I call weaponizing art.
I'm just saying, like, we don't normally rock this petty. We just come to this. We have the capacity. We have the capacity. And when you go and weaponize one black man against another group of black men that you have an issue with, instead of addressing us as adults, then if you want to play childish games, then we got Matt the letter hack on our side.
Oh, look at that. That was great.
We got Matt
That
the
was
letter
really
hack on our
great.
side.
That's your name now, Matt the letter
Oh
hack.
my God.
Isn't
Matt
that
the
awesome
letter
though?
hack.
He's like, if you want to play
Yeah.
childish games, we got Matt the letter hack on.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know someone who's extremely childish. In fact, let me bring them on here real quick. Hey, letter hack, welcome to the show. I heard you just turned 50. How's that going?
I feel young as ever.
Yeah.
But that was the best. I mean, that was just so awesome. Because not only did they send out the Matt signal, right?
Yep.
Trying to get me
The
to
Matt
draw it.
signal. The Matt signal.
But there was also a comment where somebody was like, if Letterhack be with us, who could be against us? It's like, yes. I love this.
There you go.
I love the part of the show where Letterhack just starts fanboying about his like chronicles and YouTube chat rooms. Like, guys, the other day I was in this YouTube chat and everyone was saying my name, guys. Whoa! This is the best part of the show.
I know. And then I went to
And then
but then in Brooklyn, I was in an actual live event in a room
yeah.
filled with those people, and they clapped for me, and I was like, "This is
you're
the
the
real life
office.
chat."
Mhm.
Mhm.
No, but it's all because I draw funny
funny.
pictures. Look,
And yeah, it's
I'm not
so-
getting published. No one wants to sell my art. No one wants Matt to be a famous cartoonist. But fucking the people know me. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
yes.
I am one of them. I am not above them. I am not Matt, the artist at the chat. I'm in the fucking chat.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
Yes, you're Matt.
yeah,
right,
like the
you're a
letter
real
hack
guy.
is already in the house.
In the house.
He's calling from inside the
Me
house.
too. Me too. I'm not up there.
But that's what I mean is I want to be I'd rather be that sort of an artist than somebody who's like, I mean, yeah, I want to get comics published. Give me a break. But
Well, the comics you want to publish though are really worthwhile, especially like with Harvey. You know that tell a story that were they're important pieces of work. What you're doing with him, I think. I'd love you to
I
do
do
one.
too.
Collaborate on climate with a scientist.
Man, thank you, Christina. Geez, for the $5.
Hi, Christina. Yeah.
Hope you're doing well too.
Yeah.
I've been following your exploits, so to speak. But yes, I did draw Anna Asparagus. They asked. I did it. I've been doing all of the Vanguard merch.
Oh, that's
How much they pay you for that?
How much? Well, I wouldn't reveal my rates unless somebody was trying to commission me, but they do pay.
I need to redo something.
And this chair.
Oh, now you know how I felt with my microphone.
I told them
my camera. My camera.
my thing is we will eventually work out the rates. But I do not go into this like, here's what I charge. I'm like, do you
Right.
like the art? But yeah, so Anna Kasparian referred to them as Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, I think.
And I
heard
said,
that.
if you guys want to lean into it,
Yeah.
we could do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that way, anytime somebody insults you, you just make a new piece of merch out of it and they'll stop insulting you.
That's
right?
funny.
You monetize it. And I was like, it's pretty self-deprecating though. I don't know if you want to do that. And they were like, we definitely do. And I showed them a sketch and they were like, we're doing that. I think it turned out pretty good, but anyway.
So which one was Beavis and which one was Butthead?
Well, they're Silly and Billy because that's what Jenk calls them.
Silly and
see.
Billy.
But yeah, Gavin is a long-haired Beavis, and it says 100% on his shirt because they, after everything, they're like 100%. So I put that on his shirt.
Would you? Can
And
you
they're
tell
cool with
me?
it.
Can you send me what size I need to do for a proper coffee cup logo that's not too small? Every time I keep
We could talk
doing
about it.
over, all right, because I bet I keep doing it over and it's looking horrible. It doesn't.
There's
look
got to
good.
be a template you can download or a way to scale it
There
where it shows it
was,
maxed out or not.
but it didn't seem to work for me from the store that I'm using. Oh well,
I can give you an approximate. Yeah, we can figure that out.
yeah, that's all I need. I figure I can put the WASF on the baseball hat. It's actually what I want to do for the baseball hat for my channel, people.
And just so everyone knows, I'm basically for hire, but my thing is, this is what I tell people. It's very affordable if you're hiring me for the art you've seen me do.
Right.
If somebody wants to hire me for a branding or marketing, what's that say?
Well,
Wow, they love me.
She's hilarious.
It's basically how I am all the time. And get my wife back on here. She'll tell you enough. It's enough.
Oh,
But if somebody wants to do like
uh,
a logo design, I don't just
Yeah.
do the logo design.
right.
I do the style guide, the uses,
That's
wrong
cool.
ways to use them, how it would
Well,
be
you're a
embroidered, how it would be a
professional.
woven patch on a hat, on a
Right.
shirt, all that stuff. And that is not cheap.
That's a professional job.
But it's
That's-
design and production.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's
Oh,
a
wow.
there's a lot of designers who then you're like, but what do we do with this? And they're like, I don't know. And you
Right.
show it to a production guy and they're like, this won't work. My shit works. But so you got to pay for
His
that.
shit works, Andrea. We
But if
now
somebody-
know this. We know the truth.
If somebody wants a
His shit
commission,
works.
if somebody's like, draw my dad like a Simpsons character, I got you. That's
cool.
pretty affordable. And I'd be glad to do it.
Okay.
You just got to come up with an interesting enough prompt and you can pretty much get anything for free.
Yeah, and I was actually on Vanguard talking about how I don't like AI art. And I said, I one time drew Sam Cedar as Mr. Burns, as Gary Oldman in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, which is an AI prompt. But I just drew it. And I was so proud of myself that it looked like all of that. You could tell it was Sam Cedar being Mr. Burns, being Gary Oldman as Dracula. And Jamie Peck and Matt Leck were bats, little bats flying around. You could tell it was that. So I was very proud of that. But like most people would just plug that in. Not most people, but a lot of people would just plug that into AI and be like, look what I did.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
don't want to do that. I want to draw. I
You
want to
didn't do
make
shit.
what I want for the baseball hat. The letters. I want to make them look good for the hat.
Yeah.
With the, So my daughter made a movie. She said her short film. My friends and I made it to the final round of some film competition, so you could see it. It's called Contempt. I just don't know where you can see it. I don't know. And
It's a link. She hasn't sent you a link.
It's called Damn I Live Far Productions presents a 4 points film project, Contempt. She's doing a lot of this stuff. And then she gets bit by a dog, a bad bite. I feel really bad for her. I mean, she's all right, but that's who I talk about, my kid, because she's doing things now and I'm not doing anything.
What do you mean you're not doing anything?
Well, I mean, I'm not. I'm on break. I've been sick as a dog. I'm not doing anything.
Take a break. Good Lord.
I am.
Self-care.
That's why I do this show because you run it. I'm going to do Friday nights with interviews. Like we have our big State of the Planet show coming up with everybody from the whole team, oceanographer, meteorologist, everybody talking about the whole planet, everything that happened during the year. And then Sunday mornings, I decided I'm going to do a pajama and coffee show at 11 a.m. and just talk about whatever the hell happens. Because I need a break from like those scripted, choreographed, really heavy shows. I need a break. I was feeling like I was suffering from humongous burnout. So need a break. So at least for the foreseeable future, and then I'll go back probably. I just don't want to talk about the orange turd ever for 4 years. I'm not, and I've told everybody that. But I did give a health insurance lesson on Sunday. I talked about all of the laws and all of the shit. And I wanted to say one thing about health insurance that we before Jake had left, but to go into single payer or whatever we're looking to change to, if it ever happens, it has to be, it's going to have to actually be a gradual process. And I got it all thought out of. I figure how it's going to work because there's so many people that work in private industry that have jobs in the health industry. And so you cannot just say, okay, you're done, close United Healthcare. It's going to be a process, but it's going to be such a worthwhile process. And the people that work for these big insurance companies will be absorbed into working in some capacity for the government, but it's going to take time because there's so many insurance companies now that offshoot, that handle this one, they handle the HSAs. It's intense. But this all turned me on to go back to my material. But it will join the World Social Forum. Okay, I'll look. But I'm interested to see. I mean, if it could happen, it would be nice. On our way out, let's have some nice things. We might be destroying the planet, but it would be nice to have single payer healthcare and everybody's teeth are beautiful before we go extinct. All right, that sounds morbid.
No, I know what you mean though. It's like
People deserve it, deserve not what we have.
I always say we need more than pop music and cool sneakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We always have that stuff, and
Yep.
I love it, but I mean, I don't love pop music.
No,
Check
but there
this
will
out.
be there could be a transition. It's a shame. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Oh,
Oh
Andrea's
wait, let
got
me look
one.
at Andrea's. I
Andrea's
didn't.
got one, and okay, letter hack.
Okay, now what's going
Now-
on here?
Now he's
It's
in
the
the.
AF.
Are you in the jury pool? No.
It says letter. Oh, is this change my mind?
You're on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh,
You've got an
okay.
I Love Majority Report poster.
I see that. I can see it now.
I do.
You're on the laptop. This is the
That's
laptop.
cute.
I think I've exceeded or I've gone beyond the parasocial relationship though, right?
The
See that? You're in the
parasocial-
perfect zone for a YouTube creator.
I
You
just
think
want
you've
to.
gotten to the next level, but in their mind, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not even close. But you really
Check
think
it
you did.
I love this picture.
It is nice. Look at the kitties and the bears. Oh my gosh. I like that. I like
That's
Why
that.
do you look depressed?
That's nice.
It's depressing. That's from Harvey and my new comic, Do You Hear What I Hear, at commondreams.org right now.
Okay. Do you hear what I
You know,
hear?
like
Yeah.
Sandy was saying, those are important messages that we're saying, but they're
I
not always
think
easy.
so. No. And you have to work through it because we're going to all be going well, a lot of us are going through a grieving process for our country, for our planet, for our world. We like to talk about that kind of support and how we need it for each other. That's why I bring Carolyn Baker back on. She's like a psychologist who writes a lot of books and helps us with whatever we're going
What
through.
does she write? Cookbooks?
No, she's written books on collapse and on big topics, earthly topics. She taught actually
What
one of
is
her books.
this? Why are they layered and tiled?
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Oh,
How did that happen? That's bizarre.
wait, put that back.
Wait, how
hurt
the
my
fuck did
eyeball.
that happen? How'd that happen? Whoa, something happened where the screen grab, it was in transition to a smaller. Well, that's weird. I deleted it. I don't want that. That's wrong. But yeah, anyway, they're bobbleheads. Somebody just said in the chat, Tracy Eva,
Carolyn
I hope
Baker.
Matt and Sam can patch up their relationship. they probably need a mediator to bring them together again. Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I'll be that. I'll be the mediator. I was trained in that.
did you see what he was saying today?
I'm gonna be
Chan?
an
Bye bye. Have fun on
Okay.
the whatever that show is. Letter hack.
That's
I'm going to
what
be an
it is.
instigator. So if
What? Go
Sandy's a
ahead.
mediator, I'm going to instigate.
Now
Oh,
that would be
okay, that would
fucking
be cool.
hilarious. If
Yeah, it would
somebody
be.
thought they hired a mediator, but it was an instigator, and they're like, "What? This is not working."
Make a comic out of it.
They're
That
you're
would be
like
hilarious.
so okay, father and son. What's going on here? It's like, well, I just don't think my dad listens to me, and you're like, why should he? Right? And they're like, what? It's like, wait, you're an instigator, not a mediator. It's
God.
like I wouldn't listen to you either.
I will be right back. Do not end the show.
Okay,
Okay.
I was going to tell you a couple of names of Carolyn's book, but I'll wait. I'll wait until she comes back.
You
All
had
right,
somebody
so-
on recently.
Andrea P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
she's
was her title
Andrea?
or
Andrea? She's doing
new
a
Doomer?
post Doom. She's taking over, or she's
Post?
doing she's doing series on the planet, on what's happening and how to live with it, sort of. But
How'd you know that's who I was talking about?
because that's the last interview I've done.
Oh,
I was feeling lousy and I canceled. I've canceled Jason Moore, and I have to be 100% to do him. So now I'm scheduling Friday nights. That's it. Jason Moore is a professor in Binghamton, and he's a sociologist, and he is a Marxist, and he is definitely has ideas on where we are today with politics, the planet, the politics of climate change. It's going to be a pretty heavy show, I think, and so I have to be ready. But Friday night's going to be heavy enough with talking about with scientists and, people on the year's events.
Andrea P.
Yeah.
She seemed
Andrea.
very switched on, and
What?
she just starting out. I mean, why
Yes.
isn't
Because
okay.
she
What?
because she
the other Andrea?
if you watch her channel and I'll send you a link to the one video where she explains how everything happened for her. She goes out with Dr. Jeremy Jimenez, who is a professor at Cortland, and I know Jeremy before I met her. So she I guess everything happened at once for her, and she's then decided to go on to this pedantic journey of being training on our predicament on the planet.
A
So I'll send-
pedantic journey?
Yes, educational journey. Like you could use her series as a like upper high school course when things get a little, so kids can really know what's going on. Of course, they're never going to show that in your state. No. Mm-mm.
No.
Nope. So yeah,
I'd be interested. There are
I had no idea what
Schools-
the hell these people are talking about.
schools in
her
Alabama that teach the North was wrong, right?
Well,
in the
obviously.
Civil War. I don't think that's the case where I am in South Carolina, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
No, they
in the
teach
state.
they teach that in the homes.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm sure. But there is an awesome discussion going on right now about who would win in a fight between myself and Sam Cedar. And Sam Cedar can use the squares from his set to teleport around the battlefield. That is such a cool concept. And some say Sam will win with his Cedar vision, and some say Matt will win by transforming into his super letter hack 3 form. This is the thing. This is what it comes down to.
go ahead.
Notoriously, you cannot keep the letter hack down. He keeps getting back up. And that is a problem for all my opponents. I will wear them out. They'll be like, oh, we really have to kill him. He will not stay down.
Sam Cedar would never win. He'd never be able to inflict damage on someone wearing a tracksuit. It's just not going to happen.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's right. This is true.
Oh, I think it's all about
It's true, and
There has to be some
interesting
legal
I don't
steps we
think
can
it's
take
serious.
for what's going on with the letter hack.
How could it be serious?
It's getting out of control. It's getting out of control.
Why doesn't he bring you on the show and you guys could duke it out with a mediator?
because he's
No,
a fundamentally
with an-
irrational actor. He's
with an-
afraid of losing a debate.
I
Yep.
don't think Sam would lose. What would they debate about? They're not debating. It would be a guest. And Andrea,
Oh,
you,
it would be a
everything.
debate.
you could be the instigator. Andrea should go on and be the instigator. That would be
I'll
for some good,
instigate.
that would be for some good YouTube shit. Oh my god.
I mean, what doesn't he debate?
Yeah, you're right.
So
And I don't watch it every day. I am not watching politics every day at all. I can't. It's just can't stand it.
here, check it out.
I will take a break.
I'll show you
Check out
this.
what? Let's see.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a
Oh
YouTube
yeah,
TV show where I poach a
I
lot
saw
of your
that.
guests and callers for myself, and Harvey was
saw
one
I
of
was going
those.
to
So
save that. We were going to save
I saw you had Ray Gun
John
on
San
the show.
Antonio conflict for the
Well,
end of the
that's
Go
big
ahead.
of you.
That's cute.
He immediately caved. There was no
He'd
debate.
fold. Yeah. This guy couldn't last a second.
I talked about that
Looney.
beforehand with Jake, and I was like, should I bring it up or how should I? Because we were on there to talk about promoting our work, and I was like, should I bring up the beef? And we both agreed, no, let Sam do it. And I was like, what if it feels like a natural in and I could just bring it up? He was like, don't do it. Let Sam bring it up. And I did it anyway.
Because
Because
you're
in the moment, I
bad
was like,
boy.
I am funny. I'm going.
You're a bad boy. You're the bad boy.
I know how
Some
to
people
crack
say that.
jokes.
Bad boy. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
people love me. I'm this great guy.
Andrea, get more cartooning going quick. More drawing.
Afterward, they were like,
Oh.
please come back on anytime. And I was like, we'll see.
Okay. All right. So, Andrea, did you want to know any of Carolyn's books now that I can
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring everybody down. Okay.
Talk amongst
Confront-
yourselves. I got to keep a cat from
conf-
scratching the door.
Confronting Christo-fascists, collapsing consciously, undaunted, radical regeneration, birthing the self, sacred demise. And her name is Carolyn Baker, and she's been writing for a long time. And she is quite an author, but she's a psychologist, and she helps people cope with all the crap that's going on. She's the grande dame of the climate sphere, I suppose. There you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Andrea, you're drawing.
Oh yeah.
Are
I'm
you
listening,
ready
I'm
yet?
listening.
I have nothing more to say. I really don't. I have nothing more to say. I turned off her page. I just wanted to read you the name because she's good. But when I had her on her show when she wrote the Christo-fascist book, and she was raised in that kind of environment, in a very like evangelical environment. So it's she has an interesting story about the psychology of it all, and being that she's a trained psychotherapist and getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And plus she's gay, so that was even made it harder. Yeah, very interesting story. Where'd Matt go? Let's
He's
see.
going to make sure the cat's not scratching.
Oh yeah, let me look at the chat. Hey, Letterhack, Jamie. It went fast. Wait, Nadia Chambers is getting out of the country. Something that can potentially happen. I know that's difficult as fuck, though. Yeah, Nadia. There's a lot of people that have wanted to. Kelly, he's coming back. He's just taking a break. Which one, in the orange on the bottom, or Matt, who's taking a break? Kelly's in the chat. He's from he has a channel. He is in Canada, all the way on the other side. So, from sort of.
Oh, Kelly Green. Yeah. What's up,
Mhm.
Kelly?
Hey, Kelly.
This is
Yeah.
my comment of the night.
Orange. Orange. Hey, Kelly.
That's relevant to my next lie detector episode.
Ah.
Little teaser.
Yeah. Channel Warhorse is worried about the transition. Probably everybody is, except the clueless or the cult. A lot of other people are. I'm trying not to be. I mean, I don't know what I don't know. So, are you going to pay attention to what happens on the first or second and third day? Do you think he's going to be a dictator the first day?
I think.
Probably.
I'm sorry. Are you asking me?
Both of you.
I think what. I mean. Everybody loves. You gotta send me these. How I need to own these. Is that a
Everybody
heart
loves
picture of me?
me.
It says cedar on it, and it's some wood.
Aw,
Oh,
cedar. Make a cedar chest.
that's awesome.
All right.
I think
Wow. it's late. Yeah. What do you think?
the first time. Okay, I'm a firm believer
The worst.
that the man is a fucking idiot who will make money however he can, and he leans into everything, right? He's never backed off anything.
The lawsuit, you mean, against media?
Whatever
money?
he does, if he's called out for it, he'll lean into it. So if people are like, this fucker's going to be a dictator, he will do that, but he is an idiot. So it's going to be an idiot version of that to make money. Whatever he does is going to be the idiot version of it in order to make money. He's only got
Right.
4 years. He's going to be very fast and
Only.
loose.
That's like my whole life going by me.
Think about
4 more
Jared
years of that,
Kushner. Jared
asshole.
Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis in the first 4 years. What if it had
Yeah.
been 8 years? Holy shit. Trump would have got some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all gonna do
And
this to
then
bank.
they're going to finish the job in the Middle East, and it's going to be hideous. It's almost like I don't want to see anything, but you can't be like that. You can't, not in the social media age. I mean, it would be easy. Just shut the door and shut the TV off and put the phone away and read books and, just do my thing here and stay away for 4 years. But could I do that? No, probably not.
I got into a not heated, but it was, I don't know, half an hour argument with somebody about referring to Trump and the things that he does as genius. Because it's fucking not. Maybe it's
Of course
uncanny.
it's not.
Maybe
He's
it's
an entertainer.
But this is the thing. It's like we live in this world where people are skimming headlines. They don't even fully read the headlines
I
anymore. They
know.
don't even read the byline. So if they hear that shit enough, like, oh, it was genius what he did in 2024, there's going to be like, he's a political genius. And he's not. It's like, is Elon Musk an inventor? People think he is.
Right, but he's not.
Is he a genius? No, he's not Tesla. Right? What the fuck?
Who
But
do you
anyway,
think is more, if you were to ask someone who's like 15, 16, or even 25, like, who is Tesla? Would they be able to answer that question, or would they say like Elon Musk?
They wouldn't know. They would not know now. They wouldn't. Nope. They wouldn't know who Nikola Tesla was or anything
they
about
probably wouldn't even
energy.
see any value in
They don't know
Googling it.
about energy or anything. They're not even being taught civics. They're not being taught how the country works. I don't know.
If
They're
you
really just
said,
not being taught.
if you said trick question, actually Tesla is the name of Taylor Swift's drummer, they'd be like, oh no, yeah, I totally knew who that was. What are you talking about? Of course I did. I'm just kidding. That's dumb. They would know who Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift fans probably know the name of her band members, right? Am I wrong about this?
That she would know?
She has a band?
Do they look past Taylor Swift?
Nah.
Do Swifties give a good damn who else is on stage, or is it just wow?
I'd be shocked.
It really is a superficial world we live in.
Yeah, you think? It's a very superficial world. And that superficiality is quite sad. Yep, I think it's going to then usher in a new era of more fracking where I live, and it's pretty scary. And then you don't know if you want to be an activist like you used to be because everything's changed. So do you come out against it in town and do what we did against the pipeline, or is it a whole different era now and they'll throw out a fucking firework in your front, Molotov cocktail in your front yard because they want to sell to the frackers?
I mean, look, when one side pops off, it's all gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna go there on a whim. I don't think people are gonna. I think the cops will continue to bum rush in riot gear against peaceful protesters. But I don't think anybody's gonna be doing any like. Okay, so
There's organizations here that are organizations against fracking in New York. Are they going to ramp up? Or
okay,
are they
I
going to be
believe the
intimidated?
cops do illegal shit all the time. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're gonna do anything beyond what the cops are doing right now until, and this is not meant to fearmonger, get anyone freaked out, until
I'm fucking scared.
they do things like we're going to bring the military in to help with the mass deportation, because in my mind, the military doesn't just show up and then leave after a couple of days. They linger, you know what I mean? And now
Are
you
you
can
telling me
start
the
using these
military's coming?
processes.
Yeah.
I think they're going to implement certain things under the guise of
They're going to knock on people's doors.
not
in
martial law, but yeah, I think it's going to start out as anything they do for. I'm just using deportation because you can subvert due process because there are already gaps in the immigration judicial system that can be exploited. And using the military, I think that they can go, wow, fuck, we can do that with anything. Protesters, whatever. Put them up in a cop city for a couple of weeks, right? I mean, these are domestic military installations. They're moving toward that, but I just can't imagine them doing it overnight.
No,
but it might feel like that.
Do you think that I mean, I listen to bits and pieces of these things like don't be military militias, like the second row, not our military, but the people like get out of
Those
prison
are the people
they
that they would leave behind.
radicalize. Oh,
You know what
I
I'm
don't know
saying?
any of
It's like,
this. Like a
well, because look at how when pro or anti-genocide Palestinian protesters were on
Right.
campuses or wherever, the cops would stand there and let Zionist counter protesters just attack them. They didn't give a fuck. Same thing happened during the George Floyd Black Lives Matters marches, where the cops would just sit there and watch. There's fucking cell phone video of white supremacists saying, "We're here
to fight."
We're on your side." The cops are like, "Thanks, man."
Oh my gosh.
And you know what I'm saying? So those are the people, they're not going to employ them. They're just going to have them like lingering. What was it? There was just FEMA was showing up during the hurricane.
Right.
Hurricane? The hurricane in North Carolina. A militia pulls up. There was like a bunch of armed guys. This one woman gets out and starts doing all the talking. She's just badgering this FEMA volunteer. And the lady's like, what the fuck? I'm not with FEMA. I'm a local. I live here. I have this slightly wrong who that person was. But they were like, what the fuck are you doing here? Are you FEMA? What happened?
Well,
Nothing happened to them.
People have been brainwashed and they hate the government.
Well, so this is what I'm saying is like these people are very willing to do whatever they're told and they're thriving on conspiracy, but I don't see them sending them fucking door to door.
You don't think I'm talking about
not proactively
immigration to check.
Well, I mean, that's just
addresses of suspected.
ICE allows for people at the border on a volunteer basis. They just do.
I just don't see how this is going to happen if they think they're going to. I don't know.
They'll expand ICE.
Yeah.
before. But it's also, like I said, man, if people show up with their own guns and trucks and armor, that they save on a lot of overhead. On the other hand,
Right.
this country has no problem manufacturing weapons and gear like that.
No, of course not.
They do it to in excess.
Yeah, I'm
That's
interested
what.
to find out about this story about
Guess who
this
taught me about that?
young girl.
I watched a news report by fucking Anna Kasparian on Jacobin with Michael Brooks talking about how this happened under Obama, where they found out they were making too many weapons and the military industrial complex was manufacturing too much shit. And instead of cutting back, they increased spending and said, don't worry, we'll donate all the excess to local law enforcement.
Oh yeah.
But that was Anna Kasparian that taught me about that. And then this is now we're all like, yeah, okay, we should defund the police. And now who's the one
It'll
saying you
never
can't
happen.
defund the police?
Well, it'll never happen. Not in
But
this
but
country. Right.
all she needs to do is go back to that story. That's what we
That's where
mean
it
by
came
defund.
from. Right.
The park
Anna
rangers
Kasparian
don't
is a
need
very
armored
stupid
vehicles.
person.
Hi.
She's got like a 16 IQ. She's fucking moron. It's like the fucking TYT equivalent of brain damage made me conservative for John Fetterman.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Repug Inside Chatter relayed to me is that they'll sell red state National Guards in blue cities as like like when they did school desegregation or reconstruction. So it'll be like history repeating itself. So they'll
Yeah,
bring the National
but
Guard from red states to blue states to do this.
they're going to go where there are immigrants, not necessarily blue
Right.
states. It's going to be, I have personally been trying to keep myself from even slightly dehumanizing people by speaking about them as
I
if
know.
they are just
Nah.
industry
Of
workers or
But that's
whatever.
how
But
they're going to be
Nah.
treated.
they're going to go to
It's
fields. They're going to go
awful.
to the crops. They're going to go to the plants,
Yeah,
the
no.
meat packing plant. They're going to go to all the places where, supposed illegal immigrants have jobs and start. They've done this before. Start rounding them up.
Mhm.
They can like something
People
like
love to snitch on their fellow citizen. Like that bitch who snitched on Luigi and isn't even getting the reward money. Like they love the idea of like getting 2 seconds of
Yeah.
fame from
Like,
selling
is
out
your
their fellow
neighbor
person.
who is that lives with your neighbor, that Hispanic dude? Who is that? You know,
there's so many
this is the
private
shit that might happen.
there's so many private prisons owned by, what do you call them? Private equity firms. Like
Mhm,
it's Wall Street, man.
mhm.
It's
Well,
Wall
yeah,
Street
everything for
and
the shareholder. Everything.
yeah. So anyway, I mean, sending the military in sounds scary, but it's not a money
Ice,
maker.
ice, ice, baby.
Yeah.
I
They want
just
to
feel
they want to
like
get
they're
funding
going.
for other groups and
Well,
beef them up. That's all it is.
Yeah, but I think the free speech warriors are going to be clamping down on free speech for everybody but them.
No,
And
I
this whole free, but I really do think they're going to be going to people's houses and saying, are you harboring somebody that you shouldn't? I really do.
going back
Absolutely.
to your original question, I
Yes.
don't think that people are going to stop protesting. I don't. There's some
Okay.
brave motherfuckers out there,
But here I'm
especially
talking
young
about,
people.
okay, but are young people educated enough about what fracking does?
Yeah,
For
all
example,
those protests
here,
happened on college
we, but
campuses.
we'll have to, will they do it for fracking in New York State? I'm talking
I think
about this
so. And
red
if they do it
bump
on,
country bumpkins out there. They might not care. They might say, yeah, let's make money. We have to be energy
oh,
independent.
I don't
This
think
is-
anyone's gonna travel. You know what I'm saying? Like if I thought you were saying if people are in the area,
No,
yes.
New York is
No,
will
who gives a
people
fuck? That's why they
do it?
frack out there.
it, but they never frack my state. They frack
Same
over the
thing
border
in,
in Pennsylvania, not my state.
and now
I'm
they
really
are. Is that what
worried.
you're
Not
saying?
yet. They probably
Oh.
will, because our congressman sits on the energy committee and he is already chomping at the bit. And we've got Kathy Hochul, who nobody likes. And if we lose her as governor, keeping the moratorium, New York is fucked.
Hey,
And my
it's
farm, my land, and all our land, some farmer right up the road will sell a fracking
okay.
farm.
Here's the more complicated
Yes.
aspect. What if fracking
Learn more.
becomes like a big enough industry and they unionize?
But it's killing the fucking planet.
Okay, but I'm saying
Ugh.
you're pro union. How do you feel about
Yeah.
cop unions? How do you feel about, yeah, it can be
Well, what do you
corrupted,
mean, the
but
fracking that they're not unionized? I don't know if they
I don't
use
know if they
unionized
are. But
workers.
I'm just saying, are
I
you
bet
are
they're
you
not.
anti-union now? See what I'm saying? Like, it's very
No.
fucking complicated, I think.
Well, it's all who owns the company. I mean, in a fracking, there's different
Sandy, I'm
companies.
talking about what you said in terms of people protesting it.
Okay.
You're
right.
now union busting. You're like a scab or whatever.
Yeah,
So
we did that on the We did that on the pipeline.
but there's,
too.
when it comes to fracking, there's a lot to take into consideration. If it's on land where indigenous people already are, they will fucking stand up. If it's anywhere that people are already protesting, they will stand up. But like, to travel to a place,
Right.
the boonies or whatever,
No, nobody's gonna do that.
fuck that. And
No.
and now you're a scab, and I don't know, there's layers to it. So I think, like,
Well, look
fight
what
the
we did.
battle in Congress, in the courts. I don't
Well,
know.
we did it here. We won against the Northern Access Pipeline. We did it once before, but it was during the Trump years, the first time. But how different is it going to be to fight fracking this time? Fight fracking instead of a pipeline, which isn't going to be built.
I mean, in Colorado, that's where the governor
Just
drank.
gave it up. Yeah.
He drank it.
Yeah.
He was like,
You
"Well, this
guys-
is fun."
Right.
They're like, "Dude,
right. And we've worked very
she was
hard
blue,
to keep
man."
fracking out of New York and ruin our farms and our water. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's all of this is going to come to a head. I just don't know if it's going to happen
I don't know.
in my lifetime. We'll see.
Yeah.
Are you planning on dying soon? in the
No,
next
I'm saying
6
they're
months?
accelerating all of this.
Of course
So-
they are. That's
No, but
another
okay.
conversation people had. They're
Yeah, I
accelerating.
know, but I'm
billionaires
just
are
saying.
accelerating it to friggin' say bye-bye, leave us all behind as serfs.
Yeah,
peasants.
but I'm just saying, what does 5 years from now look like as far as protesting? If they're accelerating all that shit, either I don't see the people, especially in the United States, becoming mutes who don't
No, you're right.
ever react,
right.
and
That's
it's
right.
that's what I mean, it's gonna come to a
Right.
head. And if they accelerate this shit, then 5 years time, it's gonna be, the resistance is gonna be
True.
accelerated, I guess,
I think people are already making
trying
their
to avoid saying
Yeah.
gonna be gangs of Luigi's out there or whatever, but careful.
Yeah.
I don't think
Not
taking
guess
your
I guess we can just speculate and just sit
I don't
back
think
and
taking your Meet the Teen page down from your website is gonna be enough.
Mhm.
It's gonna be fucking crazy, man.
crazy.
That's why it'd be so easy to just vote progressive and get unions, and it'd be nice
Right.
and easy.
Right.
I'm not. I mean,
But
easy
unionize-
compared to.
Unionize the right industry, not the death industry that's going to totally, but it's happening. I mean, Biden said he was going to let open up the leases up in Alaska. I mean,
Oh yeah, I
on his
mean,
way
it's-
out. What kind of fucked up shit is that? I am so,
Biden's out there like
I'm so
pardoning
sick
like
of all of them. The wrong-
criminal health insurance people.
Yeah, why
and
didn't he
doctors and-
pardon? What's his name?
Should pardon Luigi. That would be pretty funny.
No, right.
Snowden,
There's that. There's another one. The Native American guy.
Donziger.
Oh my God, no. John Trudeau is his name? I don't know. Anyway,
Did
there's
you
a-
hear that? Who was it?
I'm
It
gonna
was
look it
a
up.
Fox News guy or Newsmax. No shit. This might have been an MSNBC guy who referred to that United Healthcare CEO as like, he's like, how come there's no memorial set up Where's the vigil? I
that
mean,
guy.
when John Lennon died, look at the outpouring of love. And I was like,
I know.
this was not John Lennon, you dumb fuck. Nobody knew who this guy was. Oh, by the way, Andrea, John Lennon was one of the Beatles. He was like one of the main singer-songwriter guys in
Because
a
of
group.
political stuff.
But it was part of the British invasion in the 60s.
Right.
It was called, look up Beatles Ed Sullivan and just go from there. But
Okay.
anyway, that is ridiculous to make.
Leonard Peltier. How come I mixed his name up? That's who Biden really needs to pardon. He is the most well-known American currently serving time in federal prison, Leonard Peltier, because of his work with the American Indian movement. And he was convicted of murdering 2 FBI agents, but they're not so sure that happened. It happened on Pine Ridge, but it's so long ago. He needs a pardon. Leonard Peltier. That's his name.
Do you think
Mm-hmm.
these news people who are like, what is going on with the CEOs? This is horrible. Do you think that they're at home like reacting to the news that way? Or are they like, oh, they're going to make me talk about this on air. I don't want to fuck these CEOs. And then they go on air and they're like, he was like John Lennon. Or, I mean, how two-faced do you think they are? Or are they at home like just like, well, no, I mean, obviously we get paid by United Healthcare during advertising and sponsorship. We have to do this. Or how do you think they're sociopaths, or are they real people that just get paid to be sociopaths?
Well, they get paid to be sociopaths, but like we earlier in this conversation, how they are in a system. What happened? What our system has allowed this to happen. We've allowed it to happen. The population has allowed these things to happen by our votes and Citizens United.
Just want to see somebody in real life.
The luck of the draw.
Not on TV. I want to see somebody in real life in their living room go, hey, honey, did you hear they shot and killed a healthcare CEO in the streets of New York? And they went, it's like John Lennon. You know, like I want to see that for real.
I doubt
That's
that
like
there's
Martin
a
Luther
person
King
on the
Jr.
planet in the United States that thinks that. What do you
That's
think,
like
Andrea?
when they killed Kennedy. You know what I mean? I want to see somebody and then be like, are you fucking kidding me? Connect those dots. Like I want that. I need that to happen.
No one's ever heard of this guy's name
RL
before, like last week or month.
I think we were all thinking like, damn. I mean, I wish they didn't have to do that, but it might trend because it makes fucking sense.
Trend.
It makes. I think we were all like, yep, makes sense. Not, oh my god, that's like when they killed one of the Beatles. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. I need to see that happen in real time, or else I'll never believe it.
Well, I mean, good news is it will not happen in real time, and you should not believe it. So,
National Guard will use live rounds.
You think
Courage will
so?
fail hard. Outlaw unions sue. Want it?
It won't end up.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I know what Nadia reads, and it's scary. She's reading a lot of stuff that's could be really gonna happen. That's why I bring this up. Or I don't think it's going to be exactly like the first.
The National Guard used live rounds in 2020 in a lot of areas. So
the next time I'm in
Tim
public,
Walz National Guard,
not rubber rounds.
If I'm sitting in a bar and I hear on the news on the TV that a CEO was killed, another one, I'm gonna go, fuck, man. It's like John Lennon, man. And then see who in the bar is like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Or who pats me on the back and goes, hey, man, yeah, it reminded me of MLK right away. No, it's okay. It's like Lincoln. It's like when they killed Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to fucking do that.
That would be a good stand-up. I don't condone doing it, though, killing people. I don't know. It's hard.
I don't condone comparing him to John Lennon, even worse. That's like way more of a crime to
me.
What, than murder? I would probably agree.
Public utility.
God, wouldn't that
People
be
are being
funny?
killed by the system every minute. Yep.
Yeah, it's called necro-capitalism. I mean, their death is required. Poverty is required. That's how capitalism works.
It's just
That's
a more
how the whole thing
complex
works.
version of human sacrifice.
That's how the so-called healthcare system is supposed to work. There has to be denial. There has to be death and suffering.
I think we should just use the terms human sacrifice. Just throw them into the volcano to appease the number gods.
Can you? I mean,
God.
I can't get off this. It's like if a healthcare executive got killed and somebody was like, "What did they ever do?"
You can't get off it.
Think about it for a second. I mean,
Oh.
but to leap from no, you shouldn't kill anyone to oh my god, it's just like pick your most beloved figure who was killed and taken away from us too early. It's just like that. Who that is the and that guy had a list. He went down a long list. It's like this reminds me of when Bowie died. You know what I mean? Like there's no
What the fuck?
you can't fucking do that.
You can't
man.
get off this.
He should have been fired
can't get off
from
it.
somebody had to approve that copy before he read it on air.
Jeez.
They
Oh.
probably
Somebody-
saw
somebody
it
else-
and they were like, "Oh, this is good."
Somebody else said he was a working man's hero. Said he was
Interesting.
a real working man's hero. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me if you think that guy was a working man.
man's hero. Ah, that's a Beatles song.
He was being sued
Working
for
man's
like
hero.
$125 million or something for dumping stocks. And oh
Yeah.
my God, they were
No,
horrible, horrible
he was
people.
he was an example of the worst of that class.
Yeah,
they're all
exactly like
crooks,
when John Lennon died.
cons. Yeah, exactly. Just
crazy.
exactly like John.
I'm never going to get over
Cons.
that, just so you guys know. I'll be talking about this
Cons.
for years.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to be talking about much. So it's my turn to pull a Sandy.
Okay.
Sandy, you're
Yeah.
cutting in line.
Oof. Oh, I'm going to be the last man
Oh,
standing. That's okay.
goodness.
I'll promote my shows.
Okay. I am
No,
gonna-
go ahead. Promote your show.
I'm just saying, no, hello, everybody. Horse Gal, hi. Trev. It's nice to see all of you. Thank you. I'm tired. Friday night, I will. Friday night is State of the Planet, 9 p.m. Eastern. Antonio, Jim, Jennifer, and Nicholas. So it's my whole team. Meteorologist, oceanographer, researcher, historian. It'll be a good show.
Awesome.
And I'm tired. I'm falling off the boat, Trev. Come on. I drove to Buffalo back today in the snow, 3-hour round trip, 2 doctor's appointments, blah, blah, blah. And I'm here tonight. Look at that. Healthy and feeling better, which is amazing. So good night, Matt. I love you. Mwah.
Good night. Take
All
care. It was
right.
good to see you.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
The channel stays on until Matt decides to turn it off. Bye.
No, I was just thinking of like when that CEO was taken away from us. It was like Tupac and I'm just looking at a list of people who have been taken away too early. Was that reminds me a lot of when Steve Irwin was snatched from us too early. It's like, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go. They killed a healthcare CEO? What, like James Dean? Or, hold on. They did what? They shot and killed a healthcare CEO? Like the crocodile hunter? That's not the same. Hold on. Because I don't know that maybe you could say the crocodile hunter was murdered, but not by another human. It was like a stingray or something, right? Be like, hold up. What did you just say? A healthcare CEO was assassinated? Just exactly like Kurt Cobain. This reminds me of Robin Williams, man. There's no fucking okay. And so the only reason why you would fake that in public, the only reason why I would do that in public is just to identify who all the assholes in the bar were. All the people who were like, that's what I was thinking, dude. It's like when Bozo the Clown kicked it. I feel the exact same way. That could be like, asshole. Somebody come over and put their arm around me and go, that's exactly what I was thinking. It is like when the Notorious B.I.G. was taken out or whatever happened. I don't know. That guy might be alive. I'm not sure. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Nadia Yvette Chambers with another $5. Wow. Thank you. Very generous this evening, as always. Same people who committed chainsaw massacres versus nuns in Central America. Got it. I feel like that's a little puzzle. It should be underneath of a beer bottle cap. E.g., Necropante are the ones taking over. Its severity is widely underestimated. Well, I do think there's a lot of underestimating going on. I like these suggestions. Okay, here's a good one. Did you see what I just saw in the news? They murdered a United Healthcare CEO. There was only one. Now somebody's going to have to do his job. It's like when Pee Wee Herman died and Cowboy Curtis was like, I'll do it. It's 12:21 a.m. on the East Coast, and we've gotten to the part of our show where Matt really cracks himself up. It's been going for a while now. It might continue if you're not careful. You guys know the lady who played Miss Yvonne is on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right? That's her. She's great. Yeah, like can you see somebody saying, hey, if the United Healthcare worker or no, if the United Healthcare CEO is dead, who's going to deny who's going to make sure all the claims are denied? No, nobody says that. That's exactly what they should be like. Well, that was the guy who was seeing to it that CEOs have their eye on the bottom line. They don't give a fuck about personnel. If they do, it's rare. So I'm talking about the majority. They have their eye on the bottom line, and they'll do whatever it takes to maintain it because they bank. That's what it is. Wait, so Morpheus is the new Pee Wee Herman? Fuck. That's awesome. Okay, guys. It's been real and it's been fun. I can't say it's been real fun. Actually, I can. It has been real fun. But I have to get up tomorrow and make sure that I'm ready for my next interview. I'm conducting an interview at 11 a.m. tomorrow, which should air Monday night. I'm going to do a show Monday night, the 23rd. We'll be right here talking just like this, like it or not. And I'll air the interview and we'll keep hanging out probably. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. It's with Tracy Rosenthal, who co-authored the fucking chair. It's with Tracy Rosenthal, who co-authored the book Abolish Rent. You guys saw her on, I think it was Francesca Fiorentini's show, The Bitchuation Room, and everyone was like, Matt, you got to get her on. And you request them, I try and make it happen. That's why I say join the Discord. We have a space on the Discord where you can recommend show guests to me. I always appreciate it when, if you know how to contact them, you include that contact information. Otherwise, I'll try and figure it out. But that's usually kind of tricky. Just about everyone who's been recommended has been invited. They don't always come on the show. It's a matter of time before they realize I should have accepted that invite. Shoot. And then again, there's people who are just not going to come on the show. I've been told Kyle Kalinske doesn't go on other shows. I see him on a lot of other shows. That's fine. Those are big shows. But the other shows he's been on, those people have been on this show. So you're one removed from being on the show. So is it that big of a deal? But anyway, we've had a ton of new subscribers in the last week, almost 2,000. I'm really appreciative. I will say this. I was very happy during the earlier show with John from San Antonio at 7:30, where we talked about, election coverage and analysis. I was very happy with the number of people watching because I know people subscribed to my channel after they saw the drama video that I have out there. We talk about independent news and independent media and independent left-wing media and online left-wing media, however you want to say it. We talk about that here. We do a good job of promoting it. If we've ever promoted something that ends up being not so great, I'm calling it out. I've done it before and it hasn't gone viral. The fact that a video went viral just shows that the content, the people we were talking about in that video, are equal to drama because the algorithm thrives on drama. It's probably right at 100,000 views right now. We got a lot of subscribers from that. We got a lot of views on our other channels. I had the most congruent live viewers of any show earlier with John tonight than before. When I had Gene Bajalan on here, he said people don't want to eat their veggies. They want the drama. We talked about conflict with the online left and so-called infighting. And from there on, I was like, I want people to eat their veggies. I'm serving meals that are well-rounded. I'm serving content. I'm creating content that covers all the bases. Fun, maybe some drama, but especially informative. I can learn from it. You can learn from it. I'll put it this way. What's going to be more valuable in the next 4 years? TYT drama? Stuff that you can just watch the good portions of the Young Turks, John Idarola, J.R. Jackson, Rashad Ritchie, you can watch the good stuff and ignore the bad stuff. You can just change the channel. There's plenty of options and alternatives out there. What's going to be more important? The algorithm, what the algorithm considers drama, or housing, renters' rights? Okay, so if I'm interviewing the author of Abolish Rent, you might want to tune in. And I was very glad to see people listening to us talk about the elections one last time. Most expensive elections of our lifetime. They're not going to get cheaper, guys. I was very glad to see people eating the veggies that we were serving up. We're going to keep doing that. And we're covering topics because it's shit you're going to need to know about. They call it housing right. Houses don't have rights. All people deserve shelter. It's a basic human right. And there's a lot that goes into this book. There's a lot of historical context. It's fascinating stuff. Can't wait to talk to Tracy Rosenthal about that tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then, it's pre-recorded, so I'll air it next week and we can talk about it together. I'll hang out in the chat probably. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about tonight? That you got me. Throw it out there. Let's go sit here quietly. Oh, the scary story. Check it out. This is good left past 10 stuff. Check this out. Can we get some mood lighting? No, we can't. Okay, check this out. I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland, and there was always talk about 3 different places that were supposedly haunted. One was the old Crownsville Mental Institution. That's what they called it. It was abandoned. Went there one time. Just people in there like doing, smoking crack, literally. And I was like, not haunted. If it is, I don't want to be here. The other was called Governor's Bridge Road. Governor's Bridge Road is a long one-lane country road, one direction, where my driver's ed instructor, because this is back when you took it in school, in high school, it was a class. He said, if you ever want to get your car up to 100 miles per hour or more, go out to Governor's Bridge Road. It's the only time I'm going to say that. I say it once to every class. So we made a note of that. And he goes, oh, and the bridge is haunted. And the third place was what they called the Satan Church. Now, you had to find that. You had to talk to people in the area about that. You had to figure out where that was. And very few people knew it, but we put it together. Governor's Bridge Road led to Crownsville, Maryland, where the Satan Church was. So we knew, okay, 2 birds, 1 scone. We could go to Governor's Bridge Road on the way to the Satan Church. So my friend and I drove around and around and around. We would ask people, other kids our age and adults, whoever would listen. And we would try and figure out where this church was. And by the process of elimination, we found this small, like, church in the middle of fucking nowhere in the woods. The windows were all boarded up. There were upside down crosses spray painted on trees. And we were there in the daytime. We found the shit in the daytime. And we were like, there were bars on the windows. They were boarded up on the inside, barred on the outside. And we were like, I feel like this is it. So we decided to go back out there one night. Now, Governor's Bridge, supposedly, and I had read newspaper clippings about this happening. So the story was exaggerated, but and this is gruesome, but like apparently a woman threw like a baby or a child off the bridge. And so if you park your car in the middle of the bridge, turn it off right at midnight, you'll see a woman appear, and she won't let you cross until you hear a baby cry. And this is ridiculous, right? We get there, we realize, I don't care who you are, you're not going to die falling off this bridge. It's like a 2 foot to the, and if there was water, you're going to be fine. There's no fucking way anyone, I don't care, newborn, the Paul's not going to do it. But we did this anyway. Now we're in a Toyota Tercel, very small car. This is the 80s. And I have my hand out the window, like on the windshield, riding shotgun. We're stopped. We freaked ourselves out. We psyched ourselves up. There's a car full of people. Like, we packed some people in the car because we were all like, there's strength in numbers. We won't be scared if we're all together. I got my hand on the windshield, and that is right when a bird flew into my fucking hand. I smacked the windshield. I screamed. I was like, ah! I screamed. Everyone fucking screamed. My buddy started the car and put that shit in gear and got the fuck out of there. We were all so scared. And I was like, it was a bird. It was a bird, right? We were like, whoa. I love it. But so then we're going to the Satan Church. And we were telling people, like, look, we were fucking here over the weekend. We were here last weekend. We saw this shit in daytime. We're describing it to people, and they're like, what the fuck? And I was like, we started daring each other. Or I was like, I wonder who's going to get out of the car. We were like daring each other once we get there to get out of the car. Now, I remember, like, my brother was in the car, my older brother, and some other people were like, there is no fucking way that anybody is that this place is as scary as you guys are making it sound. But after we had been driving through the woods for like a mile, they were like, okay, what the fuck? Who puts a church back here? Right? And it was a small white wooden, probably like one room church. Nothing. Small. And it was in the middle of nowhere. And later we found out it was near a giant like rock quarry. Massive. Biggest rock quarry you've ever seen. Incredible. So I don't know. Maybe there were like workers living. I don't know. Trying to justify why there was a church out here. Anyway, we get out there, and I remember being like, I'll fucking get out of the car. Right? I was probably trying to impress somebody. But like, we get there, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Because your headlights, it's dark, no lights. Your headlights hit this white church in the middle of the woods, and right away you're like, that looks creepy. And I'm like, see the crosses, see the bars, and everyone was like, what the fuck? And so my buddy like parks, and we notice, I'm about to get out. It's like, all right, man, I'm getting out, right? To do what? Just say I got out of the car? Anyway. So I'm getting out of the car, and somebody's like, whoa, hold up, who's that? And we look over, and there's another car, but like parked over by like these trees. Like we were still kind of in the main like entrance, like I guess a parking lot. And these guys were over by these trees. And this is the best thing I've ever said to anyone in my life. Because when we saw them, they saw us. And they had one guy out of their car too. And somebody in the car said, are those Satanists? Like, real question. They said, are those Satanists? And I said, are you guys Satanists? And they said, no. Are you? And I was like, no. And then I got back in the car and said, we should leave. And I think we all realized there's absolutely no reason to be there. Turned around, left. Of course, when we went back over that bridge, we're all like, put your hands in the windows. I remember deliberately turning on the radio and cranking up music just to be like, we need something normal. We have psyched ourselves out. But the best fucking story, the best thing I could ever think of is saying, are you guys Satanist? No. Are you? No. And of course we're all like, that's exactly what you would say if you were Satanist. And somebody, because would they be like, yeah, we're the Satanist? No, they're not going to say that. They would deny it. You got to get the fuck out of there. Oh, God, I miss being a kid so much. I really do. It was all American. Okay. How do you envision people utilizing the information you provide? Thank you for the show. Information is power. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the more well-rounded your perspective is on everything. The more we talk to people who have taken time to author books, and the more we talk to people who have gained experience through their activism and advocacy, that is literally us taking advantage of diversity. This is what we mean when we say diversity is the key. We don't have diversity in our lives if we aren't sitting around reading about a renter strike or the LA Tenants Union. You know what I mean? Because then you realize the places that the gentrification is happening to people who immigrated here. English is not their first language. See what I'm saying? How did they beat rent hikes? How did they beat a new landlord coming in saying, we only want white male designers living here? How'd they beat them? How would you beat them? So by using this information, you gain other you benefit from other people's gained experience, whether they should have gone through it or not. However they come out the other side, win or lose, we can all benefit from that, because at some point, if it doesn't happen to me and if it doesn't happen to you, it's going to happen to somebody that we fucking know and care about. And we will have to be there to say, have you thought of this? Have you thought of outlasting these fuckers? Have you thought about using the legal system to buy time, not to win? You know? Where else can that be informed? Where else, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, if you want, we can sit here and talk about Anna fucking Kasparian all night. I don't know. Rather not. Although some people need to be caught out, man. I'm just saying. But we got people who do that pretty good, and they're making it happen. So I'd rather talk about the Satanist church. That story was fucked up. And you could get up to 100 on that road. It was badass. I also want to know what makes somebody write these things. You know, if I feel like there's a challenge to getting the average YouTuber to listen, YouTube viewer to listen to me interview an author, what makes the author do the book? Who published it? Who's on board with that? It's all very relevant information. And then Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on Left of the Box. Just assuming a lot of you are going to be there too. I wonder if we got any pictures of that church. I don't think we did. I'll get in touch with my buddy. Oh, man. There are some things we did I really want to talk about, but I'm not that guy anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Oh, man. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm just sort of, you know, seeing how long this will last. It's gone on too long. It's gone on too long. Thanks for hanging out. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? I know I asked that, started talking about something nobody asked for, and then ignored the chat pretty much. Well, okay. Who? Join the Discord. Drop the name in there. Who? Let's go. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everyone. It's been real. And it's been fun, which means it's been real fun. And this is usually the part where I remind my co-host not to talk. See, the other guys will just start talking over the outro. And it's so annoying because, like, we worked hard on this outro. You know, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of dry erase board meetings, and there's different versions. There's many different versions. Many different versions. Wonder how many people know this version. You guys remember this version? Now this is old school. Now again, this is where my fellow co-hosts would just start rambling on like they're still on the show. You know what I mean? Like, you have to unmute yourself at this point. If you're going to keep talking at this point, you would unmute yourself. Yeah, this was the. Then there was this one. This was another one. Now look. Again, I do not advocate for talking over these outros. But they're actually just intros that we play at the end. So it's sort of like calling them an outro. Like, what else did I call it? End of the show. But we will, you know, it's an outro. It is an outro. We'll just fair. Call it an outro. I think also worth keeping in mind, this wasn't our only. There was this one too. This is another one. And this one I think we played like twice. And they were like, man, kind of analog. And I was like, my bad. I was just messing around, trying to like learn how to do it. But all this music, for the most part, except for the last one, was composed by Andrew. So that, I bet you didn't know she had that villain. Her sleeve, that arrow in her finger, that tool in the old carpentry kit. Sometimes we make special intros and outros, like for total, like we'll have a guest. Yeah, like this is when we get Matt Bender on. Hey, come up with this. There he is. Check it out. What up? This was another one we had, and again, it would be very inappropriate to just like talk over that. Like, as soon as you start playing it, the mic's muted. But if you're talking, you unmuted the mic. It's like a silly thing to do. And I don't know, sum it up to inappropriate. All right. See you guys.